everybody, and welcome to some Friday night farming, I suppose we should call this. Let me quickly get into game. I need to do this. It's been a while, but I think I remember how all of this works. He says very confidently, black screen, but there we are. We're going to Gemeinde, which is a very fictional town in Germany. It's just dark because I'm looking out the doorway. This is the last job really to do on this farm before we reach Farming Simulator 22, and that's exciting, but we're not there yet, so we need to harvest potatoes. It's a big field. I mean, it's field 1 and it's full of potatoes, and yeah. How big is it? Yeah, it's like nearly 4 acres, which is a size. I don't understand acres. I'm not going to pretend that I do. Are we just going to be happy? Oh, hello. There we go. We need to put all our lights on here to do this, because it's early morning, but with 5 times speed, it's not going to be morning forever. We need to turn this thing around, but we're going to try and do it like offset now, so we don't just run over stuff. I think that's what real farmers do. Like, you don't want to crush the things you're growing, and you're going to try and harvest. But yes, hope you're all doing well in this weird and even weirder continuing to be time that we live in. It's been a while since we had a stream, but we're back here now with one, and we shall celebrate that. We're streaming party time. Also, my microphone is literally the worst place possible for this, I just realised, because right where I need to be looking to do this, so I just need to move you down and a bit more in, and maybe just grab you right here, turn you, not turn you that much. Now we need to turn this. It's a bit of an aggregate I've got going on here, but there we go. So we are now ready. I'm in reverse. So now we are ready. 3, 2, 1, potato. Oh yes. Oh yes, very annoyingly the sort of general actual width of it is bigger than what's shown, which is very annoying to me because I like things being neat, and that's just plainly not neat. But oh boy, has things happened since we last did a stream. Afghanistan is just gone-ish, and just sort of more generally I've had some stomach bug. That wasn't great, let's not get into details about that. I was pretty poor. Just lots of racing. I broke my G27 wheel. Again, not Logitech's fault here, that was 100% me, which is why that GT4 championship hasn't really moved anywhere, because I broke it about like 3 weeks ago, and I'm waiting for the Thrustmaster 2248 thing to come out in a couple of weeks' time, because that looks a lot better. And yeah, just, you know, all sorts of things have happened. Bad time to be a French submarine manufacturer as well, we found out. A good time to be gay in Switzerland, and a woman who wants an abortion in San Marino, which just kind of blows your mind that San fucking Marino is now more progressive than the state of Texas. But hey ho, let's not do political stuff. Already it's only been, what, a few minutes of actual streamy, actiony thing here, and that's okay too. We've got motorsport, there's been lots of it on. NLS has come back here in, was that in September, a couple of weeks, yeah, it would have been early mid-ish September that they came back, which was great. Who doesn't love a bit of Notchlifer action? And it's always entertaining, but that's been good. Me, myself, it's been topsy-turvy. If I'm being 100% honest, it's sort of been all over the place recently, but hopefully things won't be that. This week, for example, started off with me losing my wallet, which wasn't great. And then because of fucking course I live in little old Denmark, somebody found it like minutes, probably seconds after I dropped it, was like, oh, I know where this person works from this picture taken like 11 years ago on my driver's license, and I handed it into my work, so I was just, yeah. Very weird situation to find yourself in, and that's kind of set the basis for the whole week. So I'm just happy to be farming away in the very early morning in late autumn, which is not really what we would call this, but it's going good. And oh dear, we've got trouble. We're using 90+% of a turbo because we've got road crop wheels on narrow tyres. Oh, yes, there's buttons I can press, isn't there? But I don't know. I should now have activated things, and I think it's going better now. But we shall see, because I've got this mod installed that changes things, which is nice in terms of driving. You got gears and stuff. Different kind of gearboxes, and it's good, and I like it. But it also changes, like, tyre physics, which admittedly is a bit difficult to see because it's dark. But, you know, it won't be dark forever. Although it is late autumn. The sun is rising in the distance, however, so that's good. But yeah, we shall line you... I've gone too far. No, I haven't. I have not gone too far. Let's just get you lined up here. So yes, this is happening now with my controller. Yes, I've got one of those Xbox Elite controllers from a PC now. That happened like a long time ago. But I haven't really done anything with it. Well, certainly on video for like a long while. So, hey-ho. It's nice though, like it. 10 out of 10 PC controller. Would like it to be a bit chunkier, but that's just because I've got big hands and big fingers. And just a bit bigger and a bit thicker would be nice for me, but it all sort of varies really from person to person. Like if you had a hand, like not a lot smaller than mine, it would be perfectly fine and you'd be like, yeah, this fits perfectly in my hand, but it, for me, just would be nice if it was a bit bigger, but it works fine. And of course we've got Farming Simulator. Let's talk about actual farming for a moment. Well, Farming Simulator for a moment, because they just revealed the other day. That was certainly for me a surprise that we're going to have stone clearing. I mean, Richard Herring's going to be all over this. Because stone clearing's coming, and we're going to need to pick up stones from our fields, lest we want to damage our equipment. I mean, in real life, you'd need to do it as well to stop, you know, your fields from burning down. As you know, you make sparks all over the place when you harvest. But yeah, it'll be good. Just more depth to it. Shit, what else was it they announced for it? Oh yeah, you now got different kinds of cultivating and all sorts of stuff. So they're actually adding in new gameplay elements. Well done, we're full of potatoed. See, I've potatoed to the point where you now can't potato anymore, but I've got my John Deere sitting right here. Almost as if I planned that, and I didn't. There is no planning going on here. That is my 100% guarantee. And you will just be... Oh dear. Oh dear. I've hit something bad here. That's no bueno. But in here we go. So far, so I do believe we know for Farming Simulator 22, we're going to have built-in seasons. We're going to continue down that road, which is, again, 10 out of 10. That's what I want from my farming simulatoring. I want it to be proper and good. We're going to have some new machinery. We're going to have license plates, registration plates on the bloody vehicles as well, which will be nice. What we're going to do when they come for us, which they have done here, I'm going to go down here. I'm just going to dump it all on the field, really. That's all I can do, and then we're going to swoop in and pick it up again in a bit once we're done. But I've like seen potato fields here when they harvest them, and they like put it on the ground, and then they pick it up again at some point. So that's what we're gonna do. We shall be parking this bad boy right here, and then we're gonna tip it on the ground, and then we're just gonna hopefully do it right here. Right, you're gonna finish this. That's the stuff. So right there we've got some potato. We don't need to go back to the Claas Axion 850, which is better obviously than the 840. Just need to bring this down and then we're ready to go on foot. Yes, don't tell me. And off we go. So, I mean, God, when did I last do any streamy business? That would have been back in... That would have been before Le Mans, so that would have been... Ooh, like a month and a half ago? Oh, Christ, yeah, things have happened, hasn't it? Gee whiz. I mean, Le Mans, obviously, it was good. Wasn't great, but it was good, and that's important too. And yeah, like a month and a half, it's really weird with time, because, happens so quick these days. Like, all of September seemed to have just disappeared down the drain for me, but hey-ho, there you go. We shall continue harvesting one, well, not one row, but 2 rows done here, certainly. Yeah, but really reviewing Le Mans at this point, is there? It's been too long. We can look back, however, at Sochi, which happened... Oh, that wasn't last week. That's 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah, that was... What a weird race that was. Like, one of the more exciting races, and thankfully, because nobody crashed, which is nice. I don't want that. I've had enough of that this year. Let's just not have any more crashes, please. Especially at the top end, because we don't really need to see that again. Happened enough. No, thank you. Don't need that. No, I'm done. Done watching those two hit each other. But yeah, it was quite interesting. Max Verstappen, he will come down in history if he does win this championship as the luckiest champion possibly ever. Because, right, let's just go all the way back to Imola, where Hamilton threw it off, which thankfully in the end was actually more beneficial to Hamilton because the red flag came out when Russell and Bottas came together. So that kind of went okay. He was able to recover from that, and he wouldn't have been other than, well, without the red flag basically, because they could repair the front wing whilst the stoppage was ongoing. And then we had Baku, where Verstappen had a tyre blowout, which was bad luck for Verstappen, obviously. And then Hamilton cocked it on the restart, which wasn't good for him. And he lost points. I mean, that should have been a slam dunk win for Hamilton, really. And he threw away, oh God, is it 25 points they get for a race win? Which again, imagine him having a 25 point lead in the championship right now, or a 25 points on top of what he has now. Where was the next? I mean, yeah, alright, Monaco wasn't great. Like, just full stop for the Mercedes. And then there were further mistakes. I mean, alright, yeah, Zandvoort wasn't good at all, but that wasn't ever really going to be a Merc track. Although they looked strong on the mediums there. Hamilton clearly had the advantage on mediums. He closed the gap pretty decently to Verstappen on them, but then for some reason they pitted far too early and moved over to softs, and that just didn't work. Another one of those really confusing Merc tactical decisions that seems to make no sense to anyone but Mercedes, like the engine penalty this weekend, which it could have waited and taken in Mexico, which would pretty much have given the same result. But anyway, yeah, just makes no sense doing it this weekend. But hey ho, maybe they'll have another charge through the field. But yeah, then there was Monza, which wasn't good. From Hamilton's point, he made a royal cuck-up in the pointless sprint race that nobody wants, but we probably will have. Like, what's even the point of that? Just kill it with fire. It's like the Nashville Grand Prix in IndyCar. Just kill it with fire. Nobody liked it. It was rubbish. We don't need it. And then, obviously, the incident in the race. I mean, the sprint shouldn't have been held at Monza, which everybody seems to be agreeing on, thankfully, because Monza isn't a passing track, especially with the current cars they've got. Because they can run, like, multiple aero setups through the year, which I think is a mistake. Like, if you really want to cut down costs in Formula 1, make them run a lone aero setup for the year, or have two to change between, have a low aero and a high aero kit. The cars a bit like they've had with LMP2s, although that's gone now. Previously they've had a low downforce and a high downforce kit for those cars. The low downforce kit being used at Spa and Le Mans from my notice, because Spa's always been before Le Mans, because it was sort of like a dress rehearsal for them, because they could run the low aero or with a low downforce kit there, which suited the cars a bit better around Spa. But that would just be my kind of weird point. But yeah, because DRS is not going to have any effect if you look at the wing angles they run at Monza and how little downforce they actually generate. The whole flappy openy thing doesn't do much. But hey ho, what do I know? I'm just somebody who's watched a lot of motorsport over the years. And then of course they had the whoopsie coming together. Max Verstappen trying once again to beat Ayrton Senna, sending it into a gap that wasn't there, having a collision and then being a cunt, but that's just Max Verstappen in it. I mean, even the bloody Red Bull blokes knew it was Max's fault because they were going racing incident. And you kind of know that the Horner Marco sort of compass would have been pointing straight towards Hamilton if it had been even a racing incident. So yeah, whoops, bad one there. Absolutely cocked up. He got off very lightly, and they need to redo the rules on engine penalties, because really you can't do an engine penalty and just wipe out a grid penalty. That should just be carried over. Realistically, you should only be allowed to serve one penalty at a time, whether it's in a race, like if you get like a time penalty. Alright, like straight up time penalties, fair dues, but obviously if you get 2 stop and goes, or stop and holds, you need to serve 2 different penalties. Same should go if you have a engine penalty or grid penalty based on an engine change. You can't serve another grid penalty on top of that. That'll have to carry over to the next race. Because, yeah, again, that was really lucky he only got a 3-place grid penalty there, I thought, because that was a very stupid move. But you have to make these calls based on the offence, not the outcome. Otherwise, you know, Red Bull would have hung, drawn and quartered Hamilton after Silverstone, which again, as far as Hamilton goes, that was lucky. So being honest, that was very lucky for Hamilton. But that's how it goes. Unlucky for Verstappen, but Verstappen took a fight there that he didn't really need to take. So, yeah, again, not really using his head all. Uh-oh. We're quite low on fuel. What are we saying in here with fuel? It's not... Okay, yeah, it does look quite bad in here as well on the actual gauge. So, we may want to just turn you off and then disconnect all of these hoses on the back here, and then just... I pressed a button and I didn't mean to do that, and now, there we go, we're back into this. I need to... Where is... Do I have... Oh, whoops, that's a field. Do I need to be going there to fill up fuel? We don't do that with potatoes. What we need is a fuel tank. Now there is... And it's been a while since I played this, mind, so I could be very wrong here, but there's a fuel tank here. Yeah, that doesn't work. Oddly, I think that's like a mistake with the map. I think they fixed it in an update. But in order to make it work, you're gonna have to like start a new save file, and I was like, bugger that, because this is like, I think I got something like, I think, isn't that actually visible in here in the statistics? Boom, 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 let's see here, worked acres, so acres, like again, time-wise, yeah, you can see we spent, yeah, like 250 hours on this save file. This was the save file I started just at the start of the first lockdown last... ooh, that would have been February, wouldn't it? Here. Yeah, it would have been February last year that I would have started this save file. So yeah, ever since then I've been playing this pretty much. So that's what I spent some of the first lockdown doing. And yeah, it's been a good old blast here. Final save file anyway, can't really be bothered starting something new for far before like in a month and a half. This is the petrol station. Petrol, yes, petrol, that's what we've got in it. Or isn't it? Why, we need to confer with the map here because we now got a petrol base problem. Oh god, it's Brexit all over, isn't it? Where's the petrol station? There's a Wasser house. A house made of Wasser, which you can't do because house is water. Okay, petrol, please. Do I need, before I panic too much, do I need to get out? No. Bring you up here. I need to press R. Let's just turn off the engine here. I have already filled it up. I just wasn't paying any attention because I'm an idiot, you know. So let's get back in here, get moving, turn this around. We've now got a full petrol, diesel tank. Again, very Brexit. No petrol in or diesel in the vehicle, but that's okay. Well, it isn't, but you know, I'm not British. Who would have known? leaving the European Union and cutting off, like lots of workers that you've been using to prop up your industries, leaving that and then telling them to absolutely go bugger themselves would in some way lead to unforeseen consequences for your country. Who would have fucking guessed that? Jesus Christ. It is quite impressive to watch people shoot themselves in the foot repeatedly and then be like, there's nothing we could have done to prevent this. This is perfectly okay. We will just have to suffer through these bullet wounds in order for things to become better down the line. Well, you just continue believing that. Just absolute bafflement from just to say everybody over here who's just going, yep, we knew that would happen. We kind of told you it would happen. Yet you guys seem to be surprised that it has happened, and moreover, that you have failed to seemingly plan for this to happen. Like, come on. Just very, very, very confusing. And just like, yeah, that would have happened, wouldn't it? That would happen if you tell people that they can't work here anymore and when you don't bring in people. And while it's true, as has been stated by some of the government people in the UK, that there is a Europe-wide truck driver shortage, that is correct. However, what is also happening is that there are drivers coming from other parts of Europe doing that job. Now, if you're not part of Europe, and you've made it very clear you don't want people from Europe to come over to you and work, and made it very difficult for them, they're probably not going to do that, especially when lorry driver conditions in the UK are so fucking shit. As is evident by, I think it's Russell Worthing that I've been following for years on YouTube. He's really bloody good at his job, fuck me. But some years ago he was like just driving around all over the UK, well, all over Britain really, because he wasn't in Ireland. But driving all over mainland Britain, yes, that's the correct way of phrasing it, and you could see, and he was complaining, it's bloody shit for lorry drivers, like, our conditions are absolutely terrible, like, service stations are woefully, like, unprepared for dealing with modern lorries and the modern traffic, and just everything is just rubbish being a British lorry driver. And then somehow the government hasn't bothered asking a single lorry driver about what the conditions are like and, what the consequences of leaving the UK or leaving the EU might be. It's just baffling, and now they're going, yep, it sucks, we don't have any petrol, but we're just going to have to tough it out. Yes, we may lose power over the winter, but it's better in the long run. It seems that the message now has been shifted towards, yes, things may be shit now, but they're shit now so they can be better later. Oh dear, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how it works. I mean, even then, like, the women over there, when they're being raped by police officers, they can't even flag down the buses Dame Cressida Dick wants them to do, because she's a cunt. Oh. Sometimes you just get fed up with the world, You just go, no, I don't want to deal with all this crap anymore. And that's just life, it seems. Because I don't know. Why? No. Just, no. Oh, we can't do that when we do this. Okay, got it, yes. Oh, we haven't even gotten to America yet, which is a whole nother separate chapter of absolutely fuck that bullshit. Which is just around the corner, like bloody abortion. What the fuck is up with that? Texas, get a fucking grip, you morons. It's just ridiculous. And then just, I mean, can we even start with Afghan? Because fuck me, something that was apparent to anybody who would, I mean, fuck me, I've only read books about Afghanistan, and it was obvious to me that it would take a generation before you would see any meaningful change and before the Afghans could start actually taking care of things themselves. So, if I was able to conclude that based upon what I've read in books, I have no direct access to people who have insight into it or anything of that nature, how come the American-led coalition, well, rather America, to be fair, wasn't able to realise that things would go downhill rapidly, especially when you time it with the start of fighting season, which was always always crap. Like, they literally couldn't have timed the withdrawal any worse. They could have just waited, say, like, to November. Just another couple of months, and it would probably have been more fine than it was. It wouldn't have deteriorated as rapidly as it did. And there would have been a time to do a proper handover or anything like that. But no, they timed it right at the point where the Taliban would have been at their strongest, and all the other sort of insurgent groups around them would have been at their strongest because they weren't busy harvesting poppies. And it's just baffling the lack of forethought that went into that decision. Because America just took everybody by surprise by deciding to leave. And that kind of meant everybody else had to follow because they were by far their largest contributors to ISAF and their own operation running alongside, which was always weird, but hey-ho. So you couldn't really do anything if you weren't the US. You kind of had to follow their lead because, I mean, could you imagine being the rest of ISAF just going, oh boy, there appears to be Taliban all around us now. Oh dear, what can we do? Well, not a lot actually, because the schools we were supposed to protect are now being blown up again. So they kind of had to follow suit. So that was technically August's shafting of allies from the US, which we thought, okay, yep, we reached bottom now. They can't fuck it up any harder, can they? That is about as much fuck upness as America could do under Biden. Oh, no. September just brought it on harder with the AUKUS alliance between America, the UK, and Australia, which has not been brilliant. Let's be honest, that's not gone well. That was, at best, that has been a massive fuck up in sort of reading the room generally in amongst NATO countries. Because, yeah, that's not sensible, is it? Fuck me. Fuck me with a rusty spoon. That was bad timing. Like, Australia presumably coming off far worse out of all of this because they were the one cancelling a contract, and that the US now decided, yeah, let's not have a trade deal negotiated with you right now because fuck me, you can't be trusted. But just generally with the US and the UK, what the fuck is that about? Guys, we've got NATO. What do you want? Like, yeah, alright, you're trying to sort of play big boys again now. Like Biden's trying to be all big boys, look at me, I can do things, and bloody Boris, or Alexander as his name is actually. Let's call him Alexander because that is his actual name. Because he's not Boris Johnson. Although, given what we've now heard with the Pandora Papers, it's now pretty clear why he likes to be called Boris, because the bloody Russians elected him too. Fuck me. Yeah. But, Clark. At the very least, I broke my wheel, as I mentioned earlier. My lovely, lovely G27, which, oh god, that dates back to what, 2013, 2014? So that is, I'm absolutely making a pixie out of this. Let's just go back to this and do it properly. Yeah, I broke it. I thought I'd be a responsible tech owner and clean the insides of my G27 wheel. Because, you know, that's what you do as a responsible tech owner. You take care of it, you clean it like you do with your PC. You open it up and you give it a bit of a blow through with some compressed air. And then that's it. Then it's all good. It's all ready to deal with your business. Not that kind of business. Don't be that. But just, you know, just your general computering business. It's just better, healthy, looking after it. I thought I'd do that with my G27 wheel. I'd just done me pedals because they're kind of built for that. I cleaned them out with air and I lubed up all the movable components so they weren't squeaking and they had a smooth action. It was all good. Then I started opening up the old G27 wheel and something fell out of it. And then I couldn't put it back together again because all the innie business had shifted around. That wasn't good. And now it's kind of just sitting broken and disappointed next to me because it's down over here. I'm pointing, you can't see, but it's down there. And I was like, oh, Oh, this is bad. This has fallen out. This definitely shouldn't have fallen out. And now I definitely can't close it. I've done a bit of a boo-boo here. And then I decided I need to look into what I can do. And I found out that Thrustmaster, which again, really good name. 10 out of 10 name for companies. They also made the shifter that I bought in the winter, and I've been very pleased with it so far. It's really well made. The materials they've used are exquisitely nice, good solid metal components and all of that. It just feels solid and that it's built to last. So I was like, yeah, alright, I can get the, whatever the updated version of the G27 is, the G29, G9... something or other down there, or I could go for the Thrustmaster T248. Yeah, I think it's the 8, which has like 25 something buttons on it, which is more than a G Logitech has, and it has like a weird hybrid force feedback system. Basically, if you're unfamiliar with it, the Logitech wheels have like gears that do force feedback, which is why they can feel a bit, well, quite literally crunchy when you use them, because you're literally turning gears inside it, and that's what's providing the resistance. So it feels kind of like it, like you're rubbing gears together, and it's not smooth. The Thrustmaster, has got some weird system where it's both belts and gears, so it should feel, first of all, they say it should feel really strong. The reviews I read, it's like, yeah, Thrustmaster's thrusting strong on this one, which is very positive, I think. And yeah, just again a bit smoother in this force feedback. Annoyingly, there doesn't seem to be an option to just buy the wheel itself. And also, like, I contemplated going all the way up to Fanatec, but blimey, they are pricey. Like, one of their wheel rims, which you buy separately from the actual wheel base, is the same price as the Thrustmaster was advertised as costing, which was around like 350, 400 euros. And you need to put more money on top for the actual wheelbase with Fanatec. And I was like, no, that's expensive, because I'm losing a significant amount of buttons if I were to move over to that anyway. So I'd need to invest in some sort of button box, which would have been just more costs on top. And quite frankly, yeah, I'm just not really a position I'm in to spend that kind of money right now. So I kind of had to just make the decision, go there, alright, yeah, we'll wait for the Thrustmaster, because that has like a load of buttons on it and it looks really good. And like, as I said, I'm impressed with the quality of the shifter from them that I bought. So I'd just be like, yeah, let's just go for that one, because it sounds like it's going to be real neat. So now I'm just without a wheel, I'm playing this on a controller, which is alright, it's good. But we just have to wait and see. It should be out on the 21st of October, which should be Tuesday... not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, which is nice. And I'm hoping they're going to be good boys once it's actually up for sale, where I do my electronic shopping. Because whilst I'm weirdly I am anti-capitalist, that's not weird, but I do have one shop that I do tend to buy all my hardware and electronics from, because they're just reliable, proven just reliable and quality confident, and all through the years that I've dealt with them, they're just like, yeah, it's just no fuss, just, you know, they do the job. Just sell you stuff and deliver it, and it's good, and it works, and all of that stuff. And so yeah, again, treat your customers right, and they tend to stick around. So I'm just waiting for them to put it up. It hasn't been put up yet, it's been put up a couple of other places here. But yeah, it's probably a bit difficult. I'm probably... Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things right now, it's a terrible time to be buying pretty much anything, but particularly anything that has electronics involved, because of the chip shortage, which is a problem at work as well for us at the moment. So yeah, it's just generally just a very, very weird time to be in, really. Like, I thought, like, even like at the start of the year when we went into lockdown, I was like, yeah, alright, we'll have a lockdown now, but yeah, like, come autumn, things will be like back to normal. It'll be fine. Everything will be okay. Oh no, no it wasn't, because again, I don't know anything, it seems. Because like with the bloody Delta, and who knows what other variants are coming, yeah, who knows what the future brings. Like I had to get a prescription renewed, which I now have to do to show up in person, and they apparently by the start of October reintroduced masks in the waiting rooms, and the reception is as an extension to the waiting room. And I'm one of those people that if there is a rule, I will follow it. So it says I'm not allowed in without a mask on. I'm not going to go in, because I'm being told not to go in. And then I phoned them up today and I was like, yeah, it says on the door that I needed a mask, and I didn't have time to go back to get a mask because it's only open for like a short time for prescription renewals. And they were like, oh, you could have come in. And I was like, no, because the door says I'm not allowed to. And yeah, I mean, but then again, I'm annoyed that happened. I'm not annoyed that masks are being mandated again for that, because obviously if that can help, you know, prevent another lockdown, which was, yeah, alright, I'm in a position now, if I get the wheel, I'm like, yeah, alright, let's do a lockdown. I'm just going to sit and do sim racing all day, and that'll be jolly good for me. But you kind of have to view the world as an entity. And another lockdown probably isn't what we need in the world right now, is it? With like all the supply problems that seems to be happening. Like the UK has kind of jump-started everybody on it because of Brexit, and half of that is generally the sentiment I'm hearing. So if you're from the UK, you just kind of, yeah, I'm sorry, but you've kind of brought this on yourselves. It's just been very interesting, like a couple of weeks ago when all the petrol shortage started happening. And you could just read all of the European politicians that were like, yeah, kind of bought this one on yourself, people. Like, are you expecting us to be, like, sympathetic to you? Because, like, we told you this would happen. Like, you weren't listening. Now, the thing we told you would happen has happened. And yeah. And even then, there wasn't, as far as I understand, any actual shortage. It was just the media reporting that a couple of petrol stations couldn't have petrol delivered because they didn't have drivers, and then everybody just went out and bought all of the petrol. So it was just mass hysteria from what I understand, and they've also just read that they've been saying that they might be out of stuff for Christmas as well. So now they're going to start panic buying everything else. But yeah, who knew? Who fucking knew that leaving the EU would cause massive problems? And I'm willing to bet that the people that voted to leave the EU wasn't quite aware that there weren't Brits ready to take over the jobs that the European workforce would be vacating. Because obviously, Europeans aren't really that interested in coming over, as I've been saying. Coming over to work in the UK right now. Yeah, right, there's been some visas added on for, like, you know, lorry drivers, but why would you do that? Like, just the channel crossing alone makes it untenable, really, for European lorry drivers. And again, the service stations and all of that, the infrastructure is so woeful for lorries that and their drivers that really, why would you go anywhere else? Like, I read, The Guardian's done some decent stuff. They had a British lorry driver who drove mainly in Europe, and he just described how absolute shit it is. The conditions in the UK with everything, and then compared it, said that, oh yeah, in France there's all of this, in Germany there's all of this, that we get access to for either little or no money. There's free parking, first of all. They were like, oh yeah, loads of free parking in Europe, and in the UK we have to pay for that. And I also remember from Russell Worthing's videos back in the day, like you were talking about one of the big service stations on the, I think it was like on the M25, one of the big service stations just perpetually had a rat problem that nobody bothered dealing with. So you could just see giant fuck off rats running about in the sort of parking area. And like, that's no way to treat lorry drivers in those circumstances. The showers were also disgusting, I seem to recall hearing, and just generally just shit, food shit, nothing's good, everything's overpriced in the shop and all of that sort of stuff, and yeah. Why would you bother doing that? And then with... Is the Kermit still a thing? Because I remember that, the driving permit because they realised, oh shit, there's going to be lots of lorries down there in Kent. They now need permits to go in there because it was a bizarre thing at the start of the year because there were loads of queues right at the channel crossing going down there. Lorry drivers could arrive in Kent, be backed up, wait to have the papers checked. Their Kent permit could have run out, at which point they would get fined when they tried to get their paperwork done, but they couldn't. Yeah, just bizarre that they could be stuck in the queue waiting to have their papers checked. Their permit to be there ran out, and then once they got to have their papers checked, was fined because they had to wait so long that their permit ran out, and for some reason that was the lorry driver's fault and not the fault of the government. But hey, fuck it, it's taking back control from those bloody Europeans. Oh shit, what's that? They're going to cut off power now to like part of our islands over a dispute we're having because apparently we've been buying power off of them. Oh shit, an underground, like the power cable to France caught fire, and we might now have winter blackouts as a result because it's going to take on to March to repair it. Oh shit, oh well, there's just taking back control in our cold, unheated, unlit homes, like eating the giant rats from the M25, because that just seems like the way Britain's going. I'm just confused sometimes at people. How did I get back to that from talking about... Jesus, I was talking about the wheel that I was going to get, wasn't I? And then I got sidetracked, and it's... Yeah, it's just one of those days, I think, where things just go off the rails. But yes, Thrustmaster, again, oi oi. You just got to love that name. T248. It's a wonderful... That's like a prime number, isn't it? I think that might be a prime number, but I don't know math, and numbers aren't really my friend in general, so I don't know if it is a prime number. But it sounds like it would be, you know? I'm going to say it. I'm saying it is a prime number. Oh shit, I haven't even fucking held Taskmaster New Zealand. Oh, that's the best TV, best sort of TV, new TV thing since, well, the original Taskmaster, really. Oh, go watch it now. Just stop this stream. It's, especially if you're watching later, just watch that instead. It's just better than everything. Season 1 was very good. Season 1, Taskmaster New Zealand, was very good. But Season 2, I'm going to say top 2 Taskmaster seasons. Possibly the best ever. Like, the energy is just so positive, and they're so fresh. Like, it's such a fresh experience to watch. Like, the energy is just so aggressively positive in it. And I mean, Season 2 though, oh my word, David Correos. Oh, Jesus Christ. That man is a force of nature. Best way to describe him, really. Like, the other people on it, oh god, who were the other ones? I've just watched them, fucking hell, I should remember who they were. Guy Montgomery, Laura Daniels, Matt Heath, and Ursula Carlson, who's very confusing, South African, who's now in New Zealand, and she's spelt with a Z, and it just confuses me, because they're New Zealand, so the way they pronounce her name is just really weird. But that's not really her fault, you know. She was fucking funny as well, really aggressive. With Taskmaster's assistant, just fantastic. It just worked really well. I had no idea. I don't know any of the people on there. Even in the first season. Just, it's, I mean, I just don't want to spoil it, but they're just, watch it. Just enjoy it. The Taskmaster is a bit of an odd cast for it, but that's all right. He seems to inhabit the role okay, but he's just a bit weird. But oh god, Paul Williams is the Taskmaster's assistant, and he is magnificent at that. That is the role he was. That is just the role that's perfect for that guy. Oh, he's excellent. What am I doing here? We're doing this. Oh, look at that. It's now starting to get light. I'm really looking forward to seeing how all of this is going to pan out in the new game, because it's going to be so pretty, I hope. Hashtag hope. I'm going to hope as hard as Republicans pray whenever there's been a domestic terror attack in the US, which is, again, very hard, but ultimately to no avail whatsoever. Oh, we haven't had that in a while, have we? It's been a while since we had a school shooting or a mass shooting. Admittedly, COVID's made it a bit difficult to do that. It's been one of the main downsides of having had COVID. All of those terrorists weren't able to bomb people, which is absolutely awful for the terrorists. It's against their human rights, I would imagine. But anyway, yeah, Taskmaster New Zealand, 10 out of 10. The new Taskmaster season, which obviously I can't watch because I'm in Denmark, is good, but it just feels like the New Zealand has just raised the bar so high of just producing stuff. I think the New Zealand tasks are better. They're sort of more fresh than the UK tasks are. Like, I enjoyed watching the previous 2 seasons ago, which had the one with Richard Herring, who did that. Again, just a force of nature, one-man, absolute tour de force of a performance in one of the tasks were great. Just having Daisy Cooper, having her just lose the shit at him was just fantastic. Because clearly that wasn't a hippo. That just wasn't a hippo, but apparently it was. And it was obvious, and no, it wasn't. Nobody saw that as a hippo. It was just bizarre. But yeah, oh god. There is an outtake from the first episode of that series. I think it's the first or the second one. And it was very confusing at the time, I remember, because Catherine Parkinson, out of the IT crowd, well, she's done other things too, I'd imagine, but that's where I know her from anyway. You could just see she had just bloodshot eyes. You could see clearly she'd been crying, and you couldn't figure out why until you saw the outtake, and it's glorious. Because, like, as far as I understand, that was like, for most of them, that was like the first day out after COVID lockdown, really. They were in there, and you could just feel like the energy in that room, just watching even on the TV, was just off the charts of people just letting go again and having a bit of fun. Oh, look at that! Sun's rising! Is that east? No? Hang on, what's going on with the sun? Because I'm pointing east now. I suppose if it's late autumn, yep, that makes sense actually, because the sun isn't perpetually rising directly east and setting directly west. That is a thing that I've noticed in real life. Yeah, I'm just going to be smart here and apply real life logic to video games for once and just pretend that I know what I'm doing. Because yeah, obviously now, especially when you're up north as I am, quite far north, the sun is now pretty much far more south in the sky, and we don't see as much of it as we did in the summer, where it was more north. Which also, like, if you've got one of them smartphones and you've got like that world map thing, you can like see how the sun affects everything, and it's really weird, innit? Because science and shit, pictures. Science is weird. Where was I? I got distracted by the sun. Yes, I did. Not the newspaper. Fuck that. But the actual sun in the video game. Right over there, which is how... I mean, alright, I know it's like autumn, but the sun doesn't rise like... what shall we say that is? Like... south-west. It seems, because I'm heading pretty much due south in this way, and the bloody sun is over there. So are we... How far north would we have to be? If anybody out there is like a mathematician and can work that out, please do let me know. Because, like, yeah, the sun is over there, and that's like south pretty much. Unless this map is lying to us. Could this map be lying to us, you know? Could that be the thing that's just opened up here and have a bit of a look, see? Because is there actually any way we can... I mean, I would imagine just, again, north. Like, is north, like, up is north. That's just how I apply logic in video games. If a map has one direction, you can't turn it. I just imagine up is north. But maybe it isn't. Or maybe I'm reading far too much into this. Just quick bay. Again, Farming Simulator 2022. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's looking very good. Yeah, we have that. We got new, like, different kind of cultivators. Looking good. And, like, we have registration plates. I think we also have gearboxes coming, which, fuck me, that's taken ages. And, yeah, I mean, we only really... Well, what do we need, actually? What have I been thinking that we need in this? Oh, God, why have I forgotten things? Because we're going to have seasons. But, yeah, having, like, gears and all of that stuff, having registration plates and all that stuff is nice. And, yeah, just more physics would be cool, too, you know? But we're just going to have to wait and see. Hashtag wait and see. But potatoes are being potatoed. Bloody hell, look at that. That's still pretty nice, even though this game is, what, 3 years old? Yeah, it would be 3 years old. Yeah, this came out in 2018, didn't it? Yeah, it did, because they skipped a version, technically, in order to do... Well, because of the console releases and stuff, they decided to skip a generation, which might actually work out pretty well for us, and they've also, I believe, gone independent now with publishing. It's no longer done through Focus Home Interactive, so that's something going on, but it's exciting to look forward to. We shall see in due course. Graphic looks to be slightly enhanced. We'll have registration plates on vehicles, which will be just a nice bit of a touch. Hopefully, interiors will be revamped a bit. These screens need to do stuff. For the love of the maker, make screens do stuff. Please, GPS too. We really need all of that stuff in the game. It'll be, oh yeah, just running over me potatoes. That's fine. Potatoes can take the weight of a tractor. That's very well known with potatoes. Potatoes are known for being tough. It's like an egg. If you stand it up, it's very tough. You can drive like a Boeing over it and it won't even budge. Won't even notice an egg. Same thing with potatoes. So let's just get stuck in here. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, all of that stuff, all that little stuff would be very nice to just see, like those things, like these screens being brought up. Again, as I've asked for before, some sort of tablet companion app that you can like use, like these screens in here you can flick between, would be super cool. But again, let's not get a hopes up. That's just, again, just wicked cool idea I've had, and I don't know how to do it, so it's kind of like, yeah, I've got an idea, but I mean, just look at that. You've got some fog hanging low. Oh. Bad problems for some reason. Hello? Hello? Is this microphone working? It seems to be back now, which is good. But yes, we had some problem here very quickly, but it's fixed itself for reasons I don't know. Yes, everything's working fine. We're pausing potatoes. Don't know exactly when it fell out, but we're stopping potatoes here. We're going to do some milk in this. This is our milk truck. And we have cows. Exactly how many cows do we have? We've got 186 cows. And that's good. Because cows produce milk. You might need to pop over there and do some soybeans and canola. Whatever that is. So our pigs are well fed and all of that business. But yeah, we can have a lot here of milk. Because I'm planning on doing what I've done, like between save files with the next game, where I'm going to sell everything here. I'm going to take that money and add it to my save file over there. So I start with some things. I don't have to build it all up again. Because like building it all up again was okay when I was, you know, had more free time. But now I don't have as much free time because I'm an adult with a job. And like things to do after work, like running and gym and other things as well. So you just kind of need to, I need to turn here. Indicate, 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 indicate. We need to just do it like this. Bring it out. And then turn, and then turn, and then turn. I've gotten, well, I haven't gotten good at this, but I were good at this when I had my wheel playing with this. So now we need to try and see if we can do this. Ooh. Oh, that was tight. Very tight indeed. Then we need to go in nose first. This is one of those weird manoeuvres that we need to do in... Stop! Oh dear. Oh dear, nearly crashed there. But I didn't stop. Let's just reverse it and just turn and go down here. There we go. See, I've done this before. It may have been a very long time ago, but I know what I'm doing. I am the Kimi Raikkonen. And we should just reverse down here. And that'll be Bob's our uncling right here. Stop! Please stop. I need to hold it down, then it does that, and then it's... There we go. Now we're making money. Bringing in those Benjamins from milk. Good old milk bringing in the bucks, probably is what you say. Yeah, I own quite a bit of land actually around here. We own, well, how much is it? How much land do I actually own? Area is 4 acres plus 5, that's 9, 13. 13 plus 4. Oh god, I can't do that. 13 plus 4. 13. 17. 20. 23. 7. 8. 28. 32. 38. 41. 45, 49, 50 something acres I've got here. Yes, I can do numbers. Oh, stop, don't reverse, don't reverse. We're going to knock down, not the milkery. Oh, God, what are they called? The place where they made milk, something that came out of a cow's tit, to something we can drink. I mean, you can drink it. There's actually a farm quite close to me which just sell its own milk. But, like, there's, like, things to it. They, like, homogenise it. Although I buy organic milk, so that's not homogenised. But they also pasteurise it. Which I don't know what is. But they do it, and it's an important thing that we put pastas in our milk. You know, that's really important here in the Christian world, that we put pastas in our milk. And I, for one, welcome drinking pastas. Oh God, is that how the Catholic Church got involved in all of that child abuse? I was just like, yes, you don't need to drink milk. I can give you my pasteurisation straight from me knob. Just drink my spunk and you shall be even more religious. Is that how that started? Because I reckon it might have been, you know. Uh-oh, wrong side of the road. Wrong side of the road. Don't even know why I bothered driving on that side. That's not the side I drive on, but we'll just... Oh, bit of a wobble. Bit of a wobble now that we are not using a wheel. We're just using this. Also, weird sound there when it changes. Oh, tree! Ow! Ow, I've been fooled by a tree. Just not playing Dirt Rally again. Oh, I missed Dirt Rally. Actually, that's not strictly true, because it's pretty... What's the word? Pretty straightforward now, Dirt Rally, because I've done it so much. It would be nice if we had, like, a... What we need is the R Factor 2 of rallying. It is a bit baffling that we don't have any proper rally games out there. We've got Dirt Rally 2.0, but they released, like, earlier this year, I think they released their end of life patch for it, so we're not going to get any more content. Which is disappointing, but... Oh, shut up. Shut up! Shut up! You useless German pile of wank. There you go. That's me combine harvester. That's me Jag. That's me Brexit loader. Still doing good work right here. No, that's where we were. That's the John Deere. No, no. Not that John Deere. Oh, that's got the Samson on the back. That's the slurry. That's a good thing. The other Brexit loader, me other John Deere, and there we go, back to the claws. What's its face? So we are running here, so back. Can we move, please? Muchas gracias. as they say in Germany, where this map is based. Oh yes, and DTM's been like a thing this year that I've followed. I mean, again, they moved to GT3 cars. You know, like I'm sure there's some people that started watching it. I'm one of those, so that's a good thing. But like, it's just very odd. I really enjoy our commentator. It's like he's everyone who's taking part's dad when he's commentating. It's absolutely adorable, and absolutely nothing I'm saying here is a criticism, because it's absolutely wonderful, and it just adds his character to it, which is nice. But the way he commentates, if somebody has a problem, it's like, oh no, he's had a problem now. He's going to be like all the way at the back. He's going to have a bad race. Oh no. And it's just adorable, because it just sounds like he's overly emotionally invested in everyone. It's just real sweet to just hear a bloke just have that kind of response to a race, because it just sounds like he's just really sad for them if something goes wrong. But yeah, it's early on it wasn't spectacular. Like a Red Bull Ring. Oh, God, did I mention that in the race that I did? The video. Oh God, where was that even held? No, that was at the Nürburgring. Yeah, all right. I might have mentioned it there, but yeah, DTM, like when they hit Spielberg, was really good. Like, I really enjoyed that week, and lots of great racing there. And it seemed to kind of found its stride. Assen was okay. And then we went to Hockenheim Ring, although it pains me to say it, because, it's just, just imagine what we could have had. Like, if you've seen the Automobilista video I did on Historic Hockenheim, imagine that, but today, it would be amazing. Blasting through the forest, such a unique circuit. Yeah, it just pains me to say that, Hockenheim isn't that anymore. But those were some interesting races too. Put on some decent racing there. Very interesting to see the old Alex Albon running over there. Liam Lawson as well, who's done an amazing job. I don't think anybody was expecting Liam Lawson to be as strong as he was. Like, he's definitely a title contender, and the way Kelvin van der Linde drove in Hockenheim, you really just kind of have to think, he's not going to take it this year. But they've still got the Norris Ring this weekend. It's very confusing, by the way, this weekend, because there's racing at the Nürburgring, right? They're going to have the final NLS race. And they're racing in Nuremberg at the Norris Ring, which I think goes right by where they had the massive Nuremberg thing with, like, the Nazis. Not the trial, but, like, I think it's right by where they had the big parade thing, which just seems really, really weird to me. But, yeah, that's happening. I'm going to watch that. Absolutely no reason not to watch it. I mean, it's rather annoying. Oh, shit, it's going to be really annoying this weekend, because the NLS is going to be on the same time as DTM is on, and at the same time as F1 has qualifying. And F1 has a race, and yeah, but that's only two things colliding. And who knows with F1 this weekend, it might not be any good. Because who knows with Turkey Istanbul Park, if that's a good circuit. Because last year was really weird because they hadn't repaved it. Well, they had repaved. I was going to say they hadn't paved it properly, but they had. It just hadn't been long enough since they did it till they raced there. That was, if you remember, the farcical scenes of a bunch of hire cars driving around all night long on the track, just swerving from side to side, just trying to run all of the oil off. And it didn't work. And it was really cold and sort of rainy. And Max Verstappen. And as soon as he felt like he was entitled to, like, a win, he threw it off. I think that was going around Sergio Perez as well, which was a bit odd. You think about it, but hey ho, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Who knows what it's going to bring? It looks like it might be wet tomorrow, Saturday, for qualifying. And it could rain in the race as well, but yeah, F1 and rain doesn't really go together, does it? that's not really a match made in heaven anymore. Like, partly because I did hear Pirelli saying, oh yeah, the new wider tyres have definitely made it worse. What's also made it worse is the bloody floors they're running these days. They're just putting up so much water off the track and throwing it up into the air. Like with like a lot of the downforce these days are generated by the floor. That's one of the reasons why I have minimal faith in the new regulations for next year, because I just don't think it's going to cure the problem as it is. And it's definitely going to make rain racing less likely to happen, because if it's going to throw all the air up, or rather if it's going to throw the dirty air up and over the car behind it, that probably also goes to reason that it's going to throw up like all of the watery bits when it's raining, right? So it's just going to create even more spray. I'm not an aerodynamicist, but that's my amateur take on how next year's regulations are going to work. We're going to have no more rain races. But the good thing is we'll still have the Nürburgring. And if you haven't seen the 24-hour race that became a 9-hour race this year, holy shit, that was wet. You watched like the first hour and a half of that, well, like pretty much just all of it, and you just wonder how this race even happened at all, because plainly I was even going, this is like, I know it's the Nürburgring and like they do things differently to every other part of motorsport, but like this is getting pretty fruity in like the first hour when nobody could keep the car on there. But the Germans, like, yes, we have the rules. The rules is that the marshals see each other, and if the marshals can see each other, then the drivers have to keep the cars on the road. Not our problem if they can't. That's a bold tactic, I suppose. I like it. Treat drivers like the grown-ups. Be like, yeah, all right, we're going to make sure marshal posts can see between each other. And the rest is up to you guys. If that corner's really bloody wet and there's lots of standing water, you better go slowly through that, because that's not a problem. The marshals can see each other, so you are drivers. Drive. It's kind of how it should be, really. I like it. It was great. Again, just some of the more spellbinding driving this year has happened at the Nordschleife, as it does every year, really. I would say that Kevin Estre pass, but there's more than one Kevin Estre pass, and you can go back this year and side up the Nürburgring. There was at one of the NLS rounds where he just went on the grass down the Dottinger Höhe. No, just after the Dottinger, he went, I think it was just after Antoniusbücher, he went off, put fully 2 wheels on the grass to pass for the lead on the opening lap, and it was just madness. That dude has fucking massive balls. Fuck me, you wouldn't pay me to do that. Fuck me, no way, Jose. Yeah, it's just great. It's great. We need the Nürburgring. We need it. We need to cherish it. We need to treasure it. We need to keep it. We need to just nurture it. We need to keep it good, because it needs to be raised on forever and ever. Because why on God's green earth wouldn't I want that? It's just amazing. And now, with everyone being at Zandvoort again, it can go back to the Nordschleife. It's really narrow, hardly any runoff. Same as Zandvoort, really. No point why they can't. Alright, the lap's a bit long, but as the Germans say, you will get on with it. It's a racetrack. It's got corners, it's got left turns, right turns. Every Grand Prix driver out there can memorise 5 Grand Prix tracks. They can do the Nordschleife. And if you make a mistake, you're going to bloody well pay for it there. Admittedly, it'll be the world's longest DRS zone down the Dottinger Höhe. Gee whiz, I mean, they're going to blow their gearboxes and their engines running down there at max chat. I mean, just firstly, it's downhill, and then it becomes uphill. I'm not sure those engines are going to like that, I think... Oh, didn't somebody drive an F1 car there this year? Or am I thinking of Le Mans, where Alpine drove one of their old cars around? Presumably because they should have announced the fucking program they announced this week, but they decided last moment, no, we're not going to have an announcement, we're just going to drive around our road cars, and we're going to drive around an old Formula 1 car driven by Alonso, which was really fucking weird, because like the week before Ocon had won at the Hungaroring, but again, just goes to show, because I would have been like, yeah, let's put him in, he's French. And it's like the biggest race in France, and he's driving a French Formula 1 car around. That just seems like the logical decision, really, but apparently it wasn't. It should be Alonso. But yeah, 8-0. I must remember to drink, because I've been talking for like an hour now, and I haven't had a drink. Good stuff. Good stuff. We need to bring you in here and drop it all off, shall we? Right here. Look at all of this potato. So good. Who doesn't like a bit of potato? We've done a fair old chunk already in this, haven't we? Oh, no. Look at that. Just look at that. We've not done a fair old chunk at all. We are useless. Absolutely useless on this field. Not that much. Just bring you down. Nope. Okay. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do with drunken sailor? What do we do with drunken sailor? What do we do with drunken sailor? Early in the morning. What can? What we can? Oh, hello, Alan Partridge. No, what we can do is run down the other side now, and then run down this side, so we save some time. Oh, there's some oilseed radish growing, which I think I can see on fields now in the real world, and it's really rather weird. Let's just nip you in here. Down and off we go. Oh yeah, potato in progress. Let's just quickly have another check-in with our animals in here. You are running. Oh boy, health. Why are you all the way down here? Let's just quickly just do a wah 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 wah. What is up? Why is your health dropping? We need very quickly to respond in emergency mode. No. Oh, yes, you. Come on, let's just... Oh, I'll turn the engine off in the excitement. So we're now doing the nee-nor, nee-nor. I am a tractor, nee-nor, nee-nor. I am a tractor. Run over to our farm. Oh, it's got a big weight on the front. I tried using this to do potato harvesting, because I'm pretty sure the engine in this is strong enough. Well, we can see that, can't we, here? Yeah, 190 horsepower engine. But I suppose for like the narrow wheels and everything, it just didn't work the way I intended. It couldn't pull, basically. It was too heavy, and we didn't have enough traction, which makes sense. Look at these tyres. The tiny skinny bitches. What we need, very quickly, we need to go... Oh, we don't need to topple over. Don't need to do that. We just need to stop. Lower, 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 out. Right, by the mushrooms. There you go. We just need to slot on the proper tyres so we have traction. Halt the deer, please. Thank you. In here, customize. No, not available. We need Michelin. They do proper tyres. Do we have any? We can put wide tyres on there, but there's no real need for that. Boom, boom, boom. This. No, it's cocked it. It's absolutely bloody cocked it, because it removes my front hydraulic and everything else is as should be. So, fire this one up. Where did I put that front loady bit? Is that over here in a bit of a panic? Or is that somewhere else? I mean, I don't think I need it right now. We just need to pop over here and pick up the trailer, which is right here. You know, one thing I would really like to see is a return from... Oh, God, that was all the way back... I think all the way back in Farming Simulator 2013, where some map mods, I think Culborough Park Farm had it, certainly, where you had to muck out of animal stables, kind of like the cleanliness now, but different. Because the muck was within, like, where the... I'm not... What? Come on, mate, you know what to do. But yeah, they had this feature where you had to muck it out, like all the manure was in there and you had to take it out. That would be really nice again. I felt like that was really cool and added like more uses for like smaller equipment like this kind of tractor stuff. What do we need very quickly? Let's have a look in here again. I'm pressing buttons, but I'm pressing space, not the one. We need soybeans. Soybeans. I don't have that. Canola probably works as well. Just a load of old canola. It's not being turned into oil. We are feeding it to the pigs. I mean, Christmas is just around the corner. We need pigs for Christmas. Very important to have pigs for Christmas. You can't have Christmas without pigs. Not like you invite pigs to Christmas, but you know, you can't have it because you've got to have pork roast for Christmas. Let's just see what else does the animals need. I mean, they shouldn't really be losing health, should they? Because they like have everything. You just don't have all of it. Why are you not fertile, you dumb thing? Oh, because you've just been born. Fair dues. Fair dues. Oh, we didn't even max that out. What we also need to do is get some straw to them. And I've got like a big baler. Not just a big baler, but a big baler. As a mod. So the bales are really big. I think, what are the default bale sizes in this? We can go in here and do beat, baling technology. 4,000, and the mods that I have is what? Oh, you don't actually show a size in there. That's a straw harvesting that never bought. Yeah, you 6,000, so that's 2,000 litres more than the default ones, and that's neat. That's a neat size, I think, because it just looks more like what I see around, you know? Like you kind of tend to go for that here. Let's just detach you. And then we need to reattach it. Yeah, these also got that weird steering thing going on where one wheel steers drastically more than the other. It's real neat. It's been in like Farming Simulator for bloody ages. Oh, hello. That's fine. That'll attach, right? No, you absolute trash. Come here. Come to Daddy. Daddy needs to hook his front loader on. Now we just need to have an attachment. Oh, we got the big Bailey boy sitting on the ground right over here. That's a load of shit right over there. If I've ever seen shit, it's that right there. So what we need to do here now, we're going to try and grab just and bale because we don't have any counterweight on it here. I do appreciate this isn't quite what the stream was advertised for, but we shall make it work. I'm going to be optimistic here. Let's go for 2. Or we're going for more than 2. Come on. No, I just want 2 bales. Just give me 2. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is fine. This is absolutely A-okay. There is no problem with this. It's 4-wheel drive. The front wheels are driven and they steer. This is in many ways highly optimized tractoring right here. Let's just see. Will you please accept? Will you please accept? Please accept my contribution to the world. Oh, that's gone off. That's off. And that didn't work. So we need to pop it in here. Stop, please. That's made it significantly easier to drive as well. So that's a positive. Oi, oi. There's pigs in here. Who doesn't like pigs? Meep, meep. Hello, pigs. Pigs, you want straw? You want straw, piggies? Piggies want straw, right? There you go. See, piggies want straw. Now we just need to get in here. That's fine. And then we'll pick you up. Boom. And reverse. No, reverse. Hello, how are you doing? Oink oink. Oi, 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 oi. No, not for you. Freedom's not for you. That'll do, Peg. That'll do. Just stay right there. Let you take that. We now appear to have had an incident of the physics variety. Can we please close the door so the pigs don't run away? We need to. Oh, wait, yep. Oh, we've just gone. What else do we need in here? Now it looks happier, so hopefully their health will go up. Cows' health are stuck there because I'm not feeding them straw. Because if I give them straw, they won't produce slurry. They'll just produce manure, and I don't need manure. So I hope you guys are happy now. Otherwise, feel free to oink at me. I'll come back and have a look at you. Combine harvester. Don't need that. Jag. No. Oh. Nearly there. Nearly there. Nearly. There we go. Let's just do a bit more of this. Let's just get some more potatoing going. Always potato. Always potato. Some people didn't know that, but the Coca-Cola holidays are coming was originally potatoes they are coming, potatoes they are coming, potatoes they are coming. True, absolutely true right there, but they changed it to Coca-Cola. Much like Coca-Cola changed the colour of Santa Claus, they also changed potatoes. They were big fans of Oliver Cromwell as well, Coca-Cola. Yes. Huge fans. Bloody loved the Irish potato famine he did. And they did. I think, wasn't that Oliver Cromwell? I think that was Oliver Cromwell, you know, that's did that. Right? Like that is definitely Oliver Cromwell. I'm going to have a look here. Oliver Cromwell. Yeah, it just comes up here on Google. Let's just see. Oliver Cromwell was, first of all, let me make it very clear, a massive cunt bag. Let's just see how Wikipedia sums him up for us, shall we? Born 25th of April 1599, died the 3rd of September 1658. Was an English general and statesman who, first as subordinate and later as commander-in-chief, led armies of the Parliament of England against King Charles I during the English Civil War, subsequently ruling the British Isles as Lord Protector from 1653 until his death in 1568. He acted sometimes as head of state and head of government of the new Republican Commonwealth. And he was grade A shithead, we would call them today, just absolute bag of dicks. If we go into history here, again thanks to Ian Wikipedia, let's just go down here and see. Oh, he had children. Many children. His nicknames was Old Noel and Old Ironsides. Allegiance Roundhead. Cromwell was born into landed gentry. I mean, of course he was back in those days. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just go down here to see. So, Member of Parliament, no. Politics, established. Irish campaign. Oh boy. Cromwell led a parliamentary invasion of Ireland from 1649 to 1650. However, the political scene was extremely fractured. There were also separate forces of Irish Catholics. Oh boy. Protestant. Oh boy, we've gone in. Cromwell said in a speech to the Army Council on the 23rd of March that I had rather be overthrown by a Cavalierish interest than a Scotch interest. Oh, did he not like the Scotch either? Cromwell's hostility to the Irish was religious as well as political. He was passionately opposed to the Catholic Church, which he saw as denying the primacy of the Bible in favour of the papal and clerical authority. Oh boy. And which he blamed for suspected tyranny and persecution of Protestants in continental Europe. Cromwell's association with Catholicism as Cromwell's association with Catholicism as with persecution. I'll try that again for like the umpteenth time. Cromwell's association of Catholicism, that's a hard word, Catholicism, with persecution was deepened with the Irish Rebellion of 1641. This rebellion, although intended to be bloodless, was marked by massacres of English and Scottish and Protestant settlers by Irish and Old English in Ireland. The Highland Scots Catholics in Ireland. These settlers have settled on land seized from former native Catholic. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he sent over there 9 months campaign before his invasion. Forces at outposts in Dublin and Derry / London Derry. I'm not gonna wade into that one. Boom, boom. After his landing in Dublin, it's have recently defended from an Irish and English royalist attack at the Battle of Rathmines. Cromwell took the fortified port of secure the logistical supply from England. At the siege of Drogheda in September 1649, Cromwell's troops killed nearly 3,500 after the town's capture, comprising around 2,700 royalist soldiers and all the men in the town carrying arms, including some civilians, prisoners, and Roman Catholic priests, of course, although history has proven that decision to be somewhat wiser than initially thought. Say, child abuse. Yeah, so sent a column north to Ulster, Northern Ireland. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. So yeah, he interesting person. Political reputation, yes. He was a cunt. Although it didn't actually say anything about the potato famine. Pretty sure that was potato. I mean, that's not what I wrote plainly here. Potato famine. Because I remember learning about that down here. When was that? Oh, that's much later. He wasn't involved with that. That was 1845 to 1852. Was a period of mass starvation in Ireland. Boom, boom, boom. And disease being the west and south of Ireland. So, Ireland these days. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, see, that was, from memory... Whoops, I've absolutely ballsed it up here because I'm looking in. There was some stuff down there. Boom, boom, boom. You basically... Hello, El Dictator Joe. Yep, you've joined at a time I've gone off the rails. I'll be honest with you, it's gone off the rails. Yeah, it's been a very weird place. It has been generally, you know, when I'm just allowed here unfettered access to the internet with nobody to tell me to stop. It does go weird. Don't worry, you haven't missed much in terms of weirdness. It's just been consistently at that level throughout. I've just sort of been bouncing all over the place. Which is kind of what we do around here, but yeah. We are harvesting potatoes, so in fairness, there is some relevance. But tangential relevance anyway, but we shall sort this out here. Ah, look at that. I've made a right pig's ear of that, although we just fed the pigs. And yes, potato famine. Basically, the British was like, nah, you guys are not having any food. And then they had a bad harvest. And then people died. Because, yeah, shit happens in it. It's the 19th century. Not a great time. Not a good time. Or, you know, post-Brexit UK anno 2023. Probably. But yeah, we're harvesting potatoes. It's going really good. Really good. I've been going for like an hour and a half now, and I've done that bit over there, plus that little bit over there. It's going smooth, going swimmingly. We have a lot of potatoes. A lot of potatoes. It's going great. Going great. It's all going fine. Hope you're all doing well, by the way. I talked earlier, because you've just arrived, El Dictator Joe. Had some stomach problems shortly after the last stream. Oh boy, that went badly. So one of the reasons why there hasn't really been anything was, well, initially that, and then things sort of went... Things just started happening all over the place, and not in that way, but just generally, you know, things were just busy for a while. But now I have a bit of time to sit down and do a stream, and it's good. It's very good indeed. Especially as it is now evening for me, and thus the weekend has begun. Oh yeah, I still have a lot of potatoes. I mean, hang on, I can tell you right now, in this stream of saving content, thank you game. What have we harvested? Admittedly, we've only harvested 0.64 of an acre, and I don't know if it's a metric or imperial acre I've harvested. I mean, I could use like the big boy thing in here, like potato, the Grimmer. But where's the fun in that? Like, this is good, you know. Like, we're enjoying potatoing. It's yes. But it's also kind of gone all sorts of weird recently with all of that sort of stuff. I dropped off for a little bit because I just was busy. Started again. Then I started having a tiny bit of man flu. And so I was like, nah, I can't do that. And then this week happened where I was just also really busy. So I was meant to do it yesterday, but something came up pretty much as soon as I left work that I needed to go do, so I couldn't go run, and I was really annoyed by that. But yeah, it's primarily just a matter of, you know, getting a grip, because, you know, it's kind of cold now, and I'm like, oh, I can't be arsed, but I just got to get a grip there and just get on with it, really, to be fair. But yeah, I miss it. Go to the gym still, that's good. I've started getting to the point where I'm actually enjoying that. Where it's not just, you know, it's like when I started out running, it was like awful at first. Because you don't know how to shape, but once you're sort of getting into shape, then it's okay. Yeah, but, you know, I don't. Because if I don't run and I do streams, I get fat. And I don't want to be fat. One of those things, really, you know. Looking after yourself and all of that business. But hopefully now, like, winter setting in a bit, or well, autumn these. And yeah, I've had some people that's been moving, well, I've been helping out and that, or they've been getting ready to move. I've had to help out there a bit, and, you know, just all sorts of things have been happening. Like, again, had tummy trouble. I threw up for, like, the first time in 20 years. Very disappointed to have that streak broken, but it is what it is. I mean, fucking hell, what's happened else in that time? I mean, things have just, you know, just general life things really has been... Oh, that's pressing the wrong button here. That's why things aren't happening, pressing the wrong thing. So yeah, oh, you missed my chat about my wheel breaking, or rather me breaking my wheel. My old G27 wheel. Broke that. I'm stuck now on a tractor. Oh boy, did I do that. Multiple times, all over the place. Like, I had a pretty severe stomach infection. For some reason, it was just debilitating. I could either lie down and just be... absolutely pardon the expression, feel absolutely shit. Or I could, you know, be taking care of business. And then just, oh God, I've hit a sinkhole. I've hit a farming sinkhole here. But yeah, I was lying in bed in the evening time. I was just absolutely out of it. I had no energy. What's happening here? Me tractor's sunk. Me tractor sinking now. Can my tractor not sink, please? It feels like there's been a sudden change to some physics here that I'm not quite on board with. Hang on, I've got some... No, that's definitely not it. You? No. You? This is slightly better. What about you? Because, like, there's a mod that I installed that has, like, things there. But yeah, basically, as far as my little stomach thing went, I was called out because I could feel, oh, something's coming here, something's coming, and then, well, then it came. And, yeah, wasn't great, but, you know, It happens. And yeah, my wheel, I wanted to, in fairness, I wanted to be a very responsible tech owner and clean it like on the inside with compressed air. And I shouldn't have opened up the G27. Pro tip, if you have a Logitech G27 or any of the sort of modern versions of that, don't open it. Really, really do not open it at, I mean, what even is this? What even is this now? It's just decided that we've gone into spin tyres mode here. I mean, let's just very quickly have to detach, detach, detach. See here. I mean, this is better. Not oh, there you go. It's a bit dodgy there. It lasted. Well, it was very interesting because it was very intense. It started on a Wednesday. And, you know, like, into the night it lasted. And then I was just exhausted all of Thursday. I literally couldn't do anything. I didn't eat anything on Thursday. I think I had, like, an apple and a banana, and that was, like, it. Oh, that's not true. I ate... I force-fed myself, which you can do. You can force yourself to eat it. I forced myself to eat half a sandwich in the evening, which is usually what I have for lunch. And that just put me off eating sandwiches. Because like, I forced myself to eat, you know. And then the Friday, I was slowly just starting to eat again, but I was just absolutely still debilitated by, again, having not eaten and having... like severe dehydration, which was definitely the case. So yeah, that wasn't great. But then on the Friday I started eating again, and then things started going back to normal, which was good. So yeah, but I don't want to go into details. But yes, the G27 wheel, I broke it. I was an idiot. I opened up to clean it, and there was this metal thing. Best way to describe it, that fell out, which I don't know where it came from. And then I couldn't put it back together again because something had clearly shifted inside it. And then I was like, oh, this is broken now. I don't know what to do now. So I've just been like, oh, it's broken. So I went on the internet and I looked up things that I could do. And severe dehydration seems to be... Is that where we're still at, down here? I need to remember to slow down because you're far behind me what I'm saying. Because again, my mind has already gone in a completely different direction by the time you hear what I've said. So yes, things can go happen. But yeah, it was. I mean, again, let's just say that my wands weren't just yellow. It was very, very orange. That's bad. That is very dehydrated. Because I was unable to take anything in. The fun thing was, I asked my parents if they could just get me any kind of tablet or anything that I could take to help with my stomach. No, I never figured out what the metal part is. I'll come back to the wheel again. But yeah, I asked for that and they delivered. But oh boy, there was no point taking that because it came straight out again. But yeah, that was kind of that. But the metal, it's what it is. I've got it here in this little plastic box with some screws in it. It clearly looks like it's holding the what I would call the column if it was an actual. Oh god, I've turned down this a bit. There you go. But it's sort of bended, and then it's clearly meant to hold on to something, and I think it's actually broken off somewhere inside of it. So I don't think that even if I could put it back together again, it would actually work. So that's why I did just one race of that championship, GT4 championship, and there hasn't been anything more since. Because it was like the day after I did that video. It broke on the day that I meant or on the day it went live, that video went live. But the good news is I'm planning on getting the Thrustmaster T248, which comes out here in like a week and a half time. Because I thought to myself, I could buy the G29 or whatever it's called, but I feel like if I buy something now, I want it to be an upgrade rather than a replacement, if that makes sense. And like I bought the Thrustmaster's shifter earlier in the year, like at the start of the year, and I've been really pleased with that. That's really well made. Good quality, good materials, can't complain. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that. I'm going to do that when it comes out, but it's just annoying now because I want to do Rum Rum Racing. I can't. But I think, yeah, it's the thing that holds the wheel that you turn. It's that bit. Not great. But, you know, sometimes you just have to pay the price of being an idiot, and I did. And yeah, like, don't worry, I have hat rants about, you can go back and watch it all back. It's well worth watching. I had some rants about America and all of that stuff, so all is as usual. I may have been away for a little while, but everything, trust me, has gone right back to normal. Oh yeah, something that I even forgot to talk about back then with the whole AUKUS pact thing that's going on is, fuck me, Australia's being shafted in that. As people have pointed out, they have no way of sustaining, like, you know, sustaining the nuclear submarines. Like, why would you buy nuclear submarines when you can't actually do the fuel yourself? Seems like counterproductive, you know. Oh, you're coming to Europe? Should we be worried? I think we should definitely be worried. Have you asked for permission? Also, what part of Europe are you going to? No, I don't want to visit the US. I'm good. I like being over here. It's nice, you know. It's nice. Like, as I talked also about earlier this week, started off with me losing my wallet on the way to work. And then somebody, pretty much as soon as I'd gone past, saw the wallet, opened it up, saw it was mine on the driver's license, knew where I worked, turned it in at my work, so the wallet wasn't there when I went to look for it, and I had to feel quite worried until my boss handed it to me. Because that's just fucking Denmark, innit? Like, you lose your wallet, it's not turned into the police. Oh no, like you would expect. No, they just leave it to your fucking workers and know where you work. Because, yeah, of fucking course that's happened. Of fucking course that's happened. But yeah, whereabouts in Europe are you going? Because as you know, if it's the UK, you're not in Europe, mate. You're really not in Europe, and you're going to find out you're not in Europe. You're really going to find out you're not in Europe if you go over there. Because they're only just now starting to find out the fact that they've left, because, you know, they left in the middle of a lockdown, you know, where nobody could go out and all the shops were closed. Oh, you are going to the UK, dear. What I just said there was said seconds before the message you just sent, yeah. Also, Amsterdam is, like, really changing, by the way. Like, it's not the smoky, druggy, go-y, prostitute-y thing anymore. They're really trying to change that. So, if you're expecting all of that, you might be in for a surprise. Because, like, either they have, or they are going to limit, like, the coffee shops to just being Amsterdam residentials, because they kind of realise they don't want to have people come over there just to do drugs, because that attracts the wrong crowd, and like sex work is no good. You know, like, it's just a lot of traffic, so they're trying to cut down on the red light district, because, you know, human trafficking is bad. Another one of my very bold statements that I make on this place. All of my hot takes on life. All of my super hot takes. Whereabouts in the UK? Because UK is pretty big. Anywhere anybody would ever heard of. And I'm sorry if you're saying Ipswich, Hull, or Birmingham. Because that's always interesting, isn't it? Because if you say that, and what I just said, because, you know, again, comedy and being funny, in it, really, because you go, aha, I'm going to Birmingham, and then I'm like, oh. Just slacking it all off, innit? But yeah, I hope you're not planning on driving in the UK, because I've got some news for you, mate. Many places, London, Cambridge, and Wales. Yep, that's just those regular old destinations. Regular old, typical tourist trip from London to Cambridge to Wales. Well, you're studying in Cambridge, by the way. Just popping over there for a bit of a degree. I've got... You don't think Birmingham is worth going to... No, I mean, it depends, because if you're in Alabama, you've got Birmingham. I think it's Birminghamers. That just sounds funny, innit? Well, I'm a Birminghamer. Yeah. It just talks really funny. Because it's from Birmingham. Just a Birminghamer. You have a friend... Oh, at the... So you're literally going to the university. I've got a degree from Cambridge. Admittedly, it's the international university, which I'm not 100% sure, but I've got it. I've got a paper that is a degree from Cambridge, which is definitely how, whenever it comes up, I'm definitely going to spin it that way, because it sounds far better than it actually is. It's in Alabama. It is in Alabama. What good has ever come out of Alabama other than Sweet Home Alabama? Although, the Barber Motorsport Park is pretty nice, and that is just outside Birmingham, Alabama. But still, it just amuses me whenever I hear anyone say it, because it's Birmingham, not Birmingham, because, you know, the H is soft. But the D's hard. Sorry, I have to do that. I'm an adult. I worked yesterday. I was with some of my co-workers where they work, and had the radio going, and they played a remix of "I'm All About That Bass" by, oh god, who was that? Who was that? "I'm all about that bass," but they changed bass to fart noises, so it was "I'm all about that." I couldn't hold it together. I couldn't hold it. I just had to let go. I just absolutely... I mean, I nearly cried myself laughing at that. Because that's just funny. I'm all about that bass. I'm all about that. I'm trouble. I'm all about that. Yes, Meghan Trainor. That's right. That's just funny. Like, farts are funny. Dicks jokes are funny. Yeah, but also Alabama is Alabama. Like, any counterpoint is that you're going in with, like, what to the rest of the world is possibly the most southern Confederate state possible for, like, the rest of the world, right? Like, you can't do that. Can I actually find... If I go out here, let me just quickly use down here, because I've got loads I need. Oh, do I have? I've got, for some reason, I've got Chrome, and I never use Chrome, so I have to use that, because my other browser have clearly identifiable information in it, and that's no good. But if we go to YouTube, we go into YouTube, and we do... No, go away with your bloody thing, damn it. All about that bass. It's about that. All about that bass. Fart. It's just a fart.
Because you know I'm all about that. No. I'm all about that. No. I'm all about that. No. I'm all about that.
Oh, so grown up. Oh, so grown up. Oh, yes. Oh, that's amazing. Oh.
No. I'm all about that. No.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mississippi. Yeah, but again, Mississippi for us is like just a river. It's just a river, you know, Mississippi. It's just a river where there's like, you know, steamers and paddle boats going about. That's just Mississippi for us. We don't know anything about Mississippi. It's just a, you know, just a thing, really. Farts are funny, alright? Farts are really funny, as are dick jokes. Like, farts are funny, and something else that never fails to make me laugh is somebody getting hit in the dick. Just funny. Just so funny. I can just piss myself laughing at that the whole time. Oh, you know what happened over here whilst you're eating, by the way? Like, there was a local politician over here that was caught in a scat scandal. It's literally a scat scandal. It's slightly darker than it sounds like, because he wasn't just into, like, watching scat porn. Oh, no, he sold a sex worker for scat, and he also enjoyed it. One of the articles I remember reading about it said that there were apparently a picture of said local politician standing next to two women that appeared to be covered in shit, and he looked, and I think the quote was, he looked pleased or happy or something to that tune. He looked like he was having a good time standing next to these two very covered. Yeah, oh, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. It's really bad. Like, again, if we go for like a political scandal, we really go for it. Like, you know, in America, oh, this politician's gay. Oh, that's, ooh. I mean, that's like, yeah, whatever, fuck it, mate. They can be gay. I mean, the fucking leader of the Conservative Party here is gay. Again, very Danish. Conservative, yes. But I'm gay, and I'm proud of being gay, and none of y'all can judge me for that. Yep, please. Yep, that's something to the tune of it. Again, we can pause here. I can look up the article here. I can try up. Yes. Go to a proper place down here. Yes. Not only was he that, he was also that, but he was, oh, where was that? Now I just scrolled down. He was a member of a city council, but he is also the deputy head of the health board in that city. Yes. Yes. Not that, probably another one. Yes, this is where it says it's a campaign against him. Apparently he made all of it. To the newspaper, the woman told that the politician allegedly also arranged meetings between different men and the former sex worker. He did this, according to the woman, on his own initiative. As documentation for these allegations, the newspaper has seen several examples of correspondence between the politicians and the sex worker, including a photograph where the councillor poses happy in front of three half-naked women that allegedly is covered in shit. Oh boy! Oh boy! Doesn't our lives just seem horribly boring right now? Like, you know, I'm like, oh, what can we do with tea this evening? I'm a bit bored. What can we do, darling? Oh, no, I'm going to shit on you. Just drop a big old log on you and smear it all over you. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a great Tuesday night for me. Yeah. Yeah, that's happened. That's happened. Yep. In for a penny, in for a pound. So, yep, that's just one of those things, innit? Yeah, the whole issue was also, like, you know, him being into that, not a problem. The only problem is, you know, him, like, trafficking women to do that as well, which isn't cool, you know. Like, consent, you know, if you want to be shat on, then you be shat on. Just make sure, you know, everybody want to do that. Yes, you're trying to eat. And what are you eating? Anything with brown sauce? I thought not, so what's the problem? Please tell me you're not eating anything with brown sauce, because that would be slightly awkward. Are you eating, like, a sausage? Because that could also be a slight issue. Fun fact, sausage and poo is, you know, like, our poo is like the same thing in Danish, same word. I mean, I feel like we have to say very much past 10th, he was on the health. I don't think you can remain a politician at that point. It's pretty bad when the people, you know, you work with, or the, you know, like, it's awkward enough to, like, be in a meeting with somebody that, you know, you've seen naked. I imagine it's a bit harder if, like, you know, you've heard they like shitting on people. Like, you can only really, just at that point, you can only really think of them, like, shitting all over somebody in that meeting. I think it's very difficult also to have, like, any kind of authority as a politician. If, like, yeah, mate, alright, shit boy. You know? It's not great. You eat spaghetti with meatballs. I mean, the meatballs are kind of there. I can see the issue, yeah, because they're, like, brown and round. Like, we can just refer to the Bristol stool chart, really, and see where they rank on the board. And we're like, the sauce is like, yeah, I can see the issue there. I'm not making it any easier for you, am I? Oh, I don't think so. Oh, well. Oh, well. But yeah, it's one of those things where you realise how innocent you are, because I just, you know, it's not a thing that comes to my mind when I'm like, yeah, that's where this relationship needs to go. It needs to go to the toilet, literally. But, you know, you do you. You do you. Also, yeah, it's now in the afternoon here. It's lovely. It's been, yes, everything's looking fine to us. I'm just checking again to see if the stream has gone down again, but it hasn't. All is going well, I think. I think everything is going fine. It's in a Tupperware plastic pot, which somehow makes me think of eating scat. Yeah, I mean, that is what you would do, wouldn't it? Because it can be hard to, like, produce in the moment, right? Like, you have to plan that really carefully. If you're going to have a good scat session, you're going to have to, you know, you've got to make sure it's at the right time of day, because, you know, otherwise you're going to have to just prepare for it. Look, everybody can be like, oh, I brought some from home. Here's some I made earlier. And then it just sounds like you're on a cooking show, but you're actually having a lovely scat session. And also, like, just, A, how do you realise you're kind of into that, and how do you broach that topic with somebody else? Because, like, even if you frequent, like, sex workers, I'm not sure, like, yeah, alright, so I do blowjob for this much, anal for this much, and you consider me for this much. I have a feeling, even at that point, they're pretty open about things like that, but again, I feel like that's, you're going to have to pay a lot extra for that. Like, prostitution and sex work is legal. So there's not really any. The only legality issue is like making money off of somebody else's sex work. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that here. You can be a sex worker. Yeah, darling. You know, I'm thinking about spicing up the bedroom. Preferably not the kitchen. That could end badly in this case. But you know, we could spice it up a bit. You know. We tried blindfolds. We tried handcuffs. Just going to drop a lock on you. That'll spice it up. I mean, in some ways, a sex worker, it's easier there because, you know, there's a sort of an open, they're sort of more open to it. But yeah, like, it's just one of those things where, like, because I work on my own a lot, so I have a lot of time at work to let my mind wander into, like, things like how you bring it up. So, darling, I've been thinking, you know, we've been together for a couple of years now, things are kind of settling down, and, like, our sex lives isn't what it used to be. So I was thinking we could maybe, like, spice it up a bit. Yeah, all right, honey, what do you have in mind? I'm gonna shit on your face, bitch. I feel like that's not the good way to go, is it? Dating sites. Well, like it's a niche market. It's very much a niche market. Just weird. It's very confusing. But then again, have you listened to John Ronson's The Butterfly Effect podcast, which is set in like porn Hollywood LA thing, and it's genuinely very interesting. Also with all the Facebook news recently, which is a fucking roundabout way of getting to that, innit? Through scat to that. But yeah, just very interesting actually to listen to, because it's all about how, in this case, scat couples. The really funny thing is, if you say darling in Danish, it's S-K-A-T, which is pronounced scat. So, but yeah, like in that podcast, like talking also about like the recent allegations against Facebook and porn, like hearing somebody do a podcast about porn, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to get the juicy stuff about, you know, like people boning on set. Oh no, it's like continuous A/B testing, and you know that, because apparently that, like back in the day, like this was done like a few years ago, so this was like before the big purge that was in the news a couple of years ago from Pornhub, when they were caught up with all of, you know, like the revenge porn and all that stuff that apparently they realised was a bad thing, because like that's incredibly violating to those involved and should in no way be tolerated, but it was, because it made them money. But it's interesting it took to that point, because like people lost their livelihoods in that podcast. It was pretty clear that people lost their livelihoods because of Pornhub. And the weird thing is, Pornhub was funded by a bloke called Fabian from Belgium. If you told me that one of the biggest websites in the world was founded by a bloke called Fabian from Belgium, I wouldn't have believed you. But it was. But yeah, it was just some computer nerds who was like, the porn world is like really disorganized, and they're like in no way doing this thing right, so we can just set up this YouTube for porn. Yeah, that's a good law. That's a really good law, California. Fucking well done. That's fucking sexual assault. Because, you know, you can send it to sex with a condom, not sex without a condom. That's fucking sexual assault. Should be fucking illegal. Fuck me. I mean, you know, just common sense. Fuck me. Well, again, not fuck me, but you know what I mean. It's just, yeah, of course it's fucking illegal. Because, yeah, it's just, it's like, you know, yeah, women do it too, yeah, but again, not cool, like not cool at all, not cool. You can send it to sex with condom, not sex without condom. It's bad. Condoms are great. Everybody should love condoms. Everybody should love condoms. Condoms are wonderful. They're great. They stop like children and other sexually transmitted diseases. What more can you want? What more can you want? Like, you know, like, life for me is pretty chill. Like, go to work, exercise a bit, and I come home and I play video games. It's a good life. I mean, it's been a good life here during COVID, can't complain. Don't really need to have small ones running about. Be really annoying. Like, I've started playing Fallout 4 again. It really hampered my time with Fallout 4. Wouldn't appreciate that one bit. It's a good game. There's a hot tip there off the press to your video game people out there. Play Fallout 4. It's really good. Really good. They've done it really good. That's a solid game. I don't know if any of the other Fallouts are as good as that, but that one's very good. They know what they're doing when they make video games, them Bethesda people. Although it sounds like it's gone slightly downhill after. But that one's very good. Hot tip, don't know if you heard about it. It's this little known game, really. That's the button I needed to press. But yeah, they redid the consent laws over here fairly recently. And it's just like, yeah. Like, because previously you had to actively say no. Before it was considered, you know, sexual assault. You had to make it clear you didn't want it. Which is kind of fucked up, you know? Like, that's not how it should be. So they just changed it to, yeah, you just have to, you know, there has to be some kind of consent. And they made it very clear in the law that it can be non-verbal consent. Like, if you are, you know, engaging with, you know, if everyone involved is, you know, engaging positively, that, you know, like, there's active involvement from both parts. Yeah, like, again, you don't have to be like, yes, that was previously, yes, the law was you had to say, no, I do not want this, you know, before it could be considered sexual assault or rape. Thankfully, that's been changed now. It's now actually sensible legislation. So these days, you know, it's like, okay, this person is engaging, there's kissing, there's groping, there's fondling, there's like, come fuck me eyes, all of that business is going on. That's consent. You know, it doesn't have to be, yes, I hereby consent to engaging in sexual intercourse with parties B, C, D, tick as applicable. It doesn't have to be that. It's just, yep, this person is, you know, wanting to have sex. Which, again, you kind of can't do if you're unconscious. And also, like, if you're having sex and, you know, condom is all of a sudden AWOL, it's like, we're not doing that no more, boy. Or, can't do that. And, like, especially, you can't even flag down a bus. So, like, you're really in deep shit there, aren't you? But then again, I don't think any of us here is a serving Metropolitan Police officer, so that's not a problem with our partners. Hashtag satire. I had a rant about that earlier as well, if you're unaware, because there was a whole thing in London of, admittedly, and this is where my cynicism comes in, an attractive young woman went missing some months ago over the summer, and it transpired that a serving police who wasn't on duty at the time, it wasn't, that, but a police officer was, he used his police ID to basically lure her away and rape her and kill her. That's not great. It's pretty fucking shit. He's a pretty fucking piece of shit. Again, hot take. Rapists are pieces of shit no matter who they are. No matter if they're Donald Trump, doesn't matter. No matter if they're police officer, doesn't matter if they're a teacher, doesn't matter if they're Catholic priest, doesn't matter if they're a fucking mechanic. Same fucking shit. And then the fucking chief superintendent of the Metropolitan Police, the police force he was working for, said after he was sentenced, oh, well, if women are flagged down by, like, a lone police officer, they should, like, or stopped by, like, a lone male police officer, they should like flag down a bus, cause buses are fucking known to stop the people. Fuck that. Fucking fuck and fuck. Come the fuck on. How is that okay to be said? How does she still have a fucking job? She's the chief superintendent. And she was the fucking, I think she was the ground fucking commander at Grenfell as well, which she botched. And that still somehow she managed to become chief superintendent. It's just fucking disgraceful. Absolutely fucking disgraceful. I mean, fucking hell. Yeah, no, just if you encounter, if you're a woman who encounter a lone police officer and they feel unsafe, they should flag down a bus. That was her solution to preventing rape. Flag down a bus. Because buses, as everybody who's been, on a bus in a metropolitan area will know that buses, they do like stopping for people. Then bus drivers are very good at stopping for people. Like, you never see people like running to catch a bus and bus drivers just driving off. You never fucking see that, do you? They're always conscientious bus drivers. They always, they stop immediately if somebody's trying to stop them. Oh, yes. Fucking hell. I mean, again, the whole issue, again, also, again, is my just standard point of view. Police officers should never work on their own. Because, you prevent these kind of situations pretty much, because the likelihood of having 2 rapist police officers are pretty low. Like, having 1 rapist police officer is very, very, very unlikely. Like, out of the Metropolitan Police, there are how many police officers? Like 10,000 or something? Although I think there was another one that was also caught with rape recently, which wasn't great. Like, and even then, like, even within the Met, she's not liked because she's apparently creating a very bad culture. I read recently that certainly if you are an LGBT member, it's not a great place to be now. It's going the wrong way. And guess who's responsible for that? Cressida fucking dick. Yeah, again, one of many reasons why I'm very happy I'm not living in the UK. Like here, a police officer, well, the training to become a police officer is considered a vocational bachelor's degree. Like, it's a bachelor's degree, but it isn't. No, it doesn't have to be very high. America just has a lot of police officers. Like, it's insane how many police officers America has. I think Denmark has, like 10 or 15,000 police officers in total. Like Copenhagen police, it's like 3,000 police officers for like 1 million people. It's just, America just has... One of the things that you kind of have to recalibrate your mind to when you're European is just how fucking massive American police budgets are and how many people they've got working for them. The issues are pretty much the opposite over here, in that it's incredibly difficult to become a police officer, so that police officers are really overworked and the police are underfunded. Like, that's the issue over here. It's not, like, we have too many police officers and, the budget's out of control and it's, like, so easy to become a police officer. No. It's really difficult, and, like, until very recently, there were just a police academy in the country. And police academy, not one for every force. No, just one. But then again, like, yearly they do these statistic things, surveys among the public between, like, the different public sectors, like who, like, the public workers are, like, the most trusted, and police officers are, like, consistently in the top over here because they're, very well trained. Like, highly trained, like, because, they have to deal with law and shit. Like, the police scandals over here tend to be, like, a police officer. One of the more recent scandals I remember was two police officers that were involved in trying to cover up the involvement of another police officer in a son in a traffic collision because he was riding on a moped or a scooter that he shouldn't be driving. That was the scandal. It's not police officers, shooting and doing all that kind of stuff. No, it's just police officers trying to cover for another one's son, and that's no good. Generally, that seems to be like the issues. Oh yeah, of course police officers are armed. Like, the only places where police officers aren't armed is, it's the UK and Norway are the only countries where police officers aren't armed. And even in Norway, they carry the firearm in their car. They've got like a special safe in the glove box, I think it is, where they keep their gun. Which, during a traffic stop, if somebody starts to shoot at you, do have time to go into your car and into the glove box to get your gun out. But yeah, every police officer here is armed. They have Kevlar vests as well. That was a more recent thing. That was like in 2015 they started wearing Kevlar on patrol. Before that, they just carried them in their car. And they put them on if they went to a shooting. But then there was a terror attack where somebody started shooting up and they weren't wearing vests. And they were like, oh, maybe we should wear these because like, they stop us getting shot. That might be a good idea. Yeah, it is. But yeah, our police are armed. I believe they still use Heckler & Koch USP compacts. So the 9mm version of the USP. It's very nice. I've actually shot with their pistol. With an actual... It's good fun. I can see why you Americans like guns, because they're fun to shoot. It goes like bang, really loud. Gives a kick in the hand and it makes a hole at the other end. It's great fun. But maybe just leave it to the police and the army to have guns. Because they need it. In case they meet people who want to shoot other people. Just a thing. Like over here, it's so tediously boring, like the use of force thing. There's like a few police-involved shootings a year. I mean, again, to put it into perspective, police here, they fire warning shots, and that stops most of the incidents. I think like the vast majority of police shootings over here involve the officer doing a warning shot, at which point the suspect then goes, oh shit, you gonna shoot me? I'm done, bro. I'm done, bro. Yeah, alright, you can have me. Just, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that, police are just firing into the air and you kind of just hoping it doesn't hit anybody on the other end, but the odds of that are quite small, really. And a lot of the shootings are them, like, shooting for the arms or legs as well. Because apparently that's literally a thing you can do. Yeah. I mean, again, you have to remember that our police patrol always, pretty much, unless it's a traffic officer, they are always in pairs. So whilst one gives a warning shot, the other one can still hold an aim and, like, shoot the suspect. Yeah, but you have to remember that, Denmark's a nice place. Like, in every way possible, it's just really nice. Nope, tasers, nope, they don't want tasers. Tasers aren't used. It's just to remove any confusion in terms of the use of force. As it is right now, you have, your actual, hand-to-hand business that you do, where you have your, you try and use your body as use of force. That's the first stage. And then you've got handcuffs. That's a use of force over here, seen as a use of force. You can't just go handcuffing people. You need to have actual justification for that. And then above that, you've got pepper spray. And above that, you've got a battle. That's considered more than a pepper spray. And then above that, you've got your firearm. That's the... Our police also, like, again, really well trained. And, like, paid really well. Because they're fucking police officers. They do a really difficult job. And there's some pretty strict requirements in terms of understanding legislation, how to interpret it correctly. The use of force training. Again, it's a bachelor's degree to become a police officer. It's a thing they call a professional bachelor. So it's just a bachelor's degree. It's got the same prerequisites as a bachelor. The only thing is you just, instead of having a bachelor's degree, you're a police officer. So literally you need to have a lot of education to get it. You can't just leave school and then become a police officer when you're of age. Oh no, you have to have had degrees and shit leading into it. Just again, the issue here literally is that it is really difficult to become a police officer and that we don't have enough of them. Rather than we have too many and basically it's piss easy to become one. And it's such a tedious job over here because there's so much paperwork. But it's just it's one of those things where Denmark's really nice. Oh, it does. It's a really well-paying job. It's one of those things. Yeah, a police officer. All right, yeah, you have to work a lot, but you're really well paid, and pension obviously is really nice too. And you get to drive really fast in a car that goes wee woo wee woo. And sometimes you get to punch people in the face. Because over here it's so cool. The police have what's called a violence monopoly. And who doesn't want to have a violence monopoly? Because they're the only ones that are allowed to use violence. The police, literally in the law, it's written that the only ones that are allowed to be violent is the police. Because they realised back when they did the police initially, when they released their first album, when the police debuted, they were oh yeah, we're gonna have to use violence sometimes to stop people who don't want to be arrested. We need to have permission to do that in the law, otherwise we can't actually use force. Welcome to Denmark. It's just so tedious. And what was it? Yet recently there was a change to the traffic law over here because the police couldn't patrol on pedestrian only areas because when they're on patrol they're not exempt from normal traffic law, and normal traffic law doesn't allow cars to drive in pedestrian only zones. So the police couldn't patrol in those areas, or rather they were doing it illegally, and so they had to change the law. Yeah, that's how we roll. That's they identified an issue over here. We're oh yeah, the police can't patrol in pedestrianised areas. Oh, we should do something about that. Yeah, now you can. It's not. Yeah, we need to have sweeping reform of the police because the police don't do their job properly. No, it's. They can't patrol in pedestrianised areas and city centres. Yeah. Now they can. Just boom. That's a big scandal. Oh, I also read yesterday they seized a Lamborghini. How cool is that? Imagine being the police officer that seizes a Lamborghini. Oh yes, I'm taking your Lambo, mate. Oh, the inner LCP divine officer in me. Oh, I get to take a Lambo. I get a brand new Lambo bought in Germany, 2 million Danish kroner. Seized for speeding, and they're not getting it back. Yeah, rum cars. Again, they're not, it's diesels these days. It's just, a Passat estate diesel or Tyrrell diesel is what they drive. But still they go, we will Nino, and I nearly watched one crash the other day. I was heading home after the gym, and police car was going against. They were going into town, switched off. They didn't want to go wee woo. They just want to go flashy blue light. But apparently the system they have requires them to switch off everything and then put the lights back on. They switched everything off, put it back on. When they went into a set of traffic lights and somebody turned from a side road, couldn't see them and nearly hit them. Oh boy. Yeah, they don't get to do that. They call in a tow truck or, one of those flatbed trucks to take them in. But imagine being those Italian police officers that get to drive a Lamborghini. My job is to transport organs between hospitals, and I'm doing it in a Lamborghini. That's a good job. That's a good job. What do you do for a living? I drive a Lamborghini really fast. And it goes neenah neenah. That is possibly every 10-year-old's favourite job ever. Although I think they crashed one a few years ago, and I don't know if they've actually replaced it since. Because like Lamborghinis are pretty expensive, you know. And you really also... Yeah, I think it's worth a punt, you know, if what we do now doesn't work out, just move to Italy, just be like, ciao, I want to be a police officer. Oh yes, I can drive really fast in the Lamborghini. Because again, it's a Lamborghini, it's not a Ferrari, it's a Lamborghini. And like Lambos are cooler than Ferraris, that's just a fact. Like a Ferrari, it's a prancing horse. But Lamborghini, the raging bull. You can drive an Aventador. Who doesn't want to drive a Huracan or an Aventador? Oh yes. Oh yes, sign me up for that. I've always been a Lambo guy over a Ferrari. They're just cooler. Like, I'm a child of like the late 90s, early 2000s. It was like around the time that, you know, I literally turned 10 in the year 2000. So the Lamborghini Diablo was like the coolest car ever. Because it was around that time where Ferrari only had the 550 Maranello, which again I think is super cool. Like, that's the coolest Ferrari ever. But there was that, and then there was the 360, which wasn't that cool. Oh, and the F50, again I don't think that was super cool. And then there was Lamborghini had the Diablo. I mean, just the name, the Lamborghini Diablo. Yes. It was yellow. I remember it was the Super Veloce version that was out at the time. It was just so cool. That was like the last of like the truly terrifying Lambos that would definitely kill you. Like definitely that was like before Audi took over. So like that definitely wanted to kill you. Then they came out with the Murcielago, which also very cool. Very cool. Oh. But still not as cool as the Diablo. Diablo, like the 80s had the Countach, the 90s had the Diablo, and the 2000s or the noughties had the Murcielago. Yes, the Diablo Need for Speed 3. Need for Speed, the first Hot Pursuit game, it was in there. So cool. Oh, so cool. Alongside the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 had the Porsche Carrera, didn't it? That weird thing they did that wasn't very pretty, but then again, Porsches have never been pretty. It's one of the few places where I'm actually with Jeremy Clarkson. Porsche 911s, all Porsches really, they're boring, they're just the same every time. I mean, when have they ever tried something new? Like, even the bloody Cayenne, when they did that, just looked like a 911, but it was bigger. It's just, you can have a bit of imagination. Like, Porsches are just, they're too familiar. I think that's the issue for me with Porsche. They're too familiar. They just sort of all look the same. They're sort of all very... They are very Beatle-y in the way they look to me. Like, they've got those round beetle shape and they just can't shake it. Like, again, the Lambos, they've changed over the years. They've changed how they look. Like, the Countach was really, really low and really 80s angly. And then you had the Diablo, that was far more muscular. It still had the kind of squarish look, but it was very different. Oh, we're full here. We're full up on potato. The Murcielago was just different too. There hasn't really been much of an involvement with Porsche, which is a bit of a shame. Because, like, I'm sure they're good cars, they just don't do anything for me when I see them. Like, one of the cars I really want now is a first generation Viper. Oh, that thing does weird things to me now. Oh, that thing does weird things to me. Oh, it's so cool. I can't think of a car that is as cool as a Mark 1 Viper, really. Because it was a V10. And like, there was like no ABS or traction control in that thing. It was front engined. It just wanted to kill you. Like, it was just dangerous. So cool. It just looks cool. Like a Mark 1 Viper. Oh. Oh, yes, please. None of the Vipers that followed really managed to live up to it. It was just so cool. It really just... Oh. Oh, yeah. V10 Viper. I mean, it's a real Widowmaker from what I've heard. Oh, it's just mad. V10. Again, no ABS, no traction control, H-pattern shifter. And it's like American, so it has like more power than sense. And it doesn't, I would imagine, it doesn't turn very well. Because again, like a product pretty much of around the year 2000. No, it was from, no, it's from the 90s. It was from the 90s, so like a 90s American car. 19th American cars weren't known for their handling, were they? People were going, yes, I'll have some of that American handling car. They're not very good with their engines. They don't have a lot of power. And they don't sound very good, them American engines. But they handle really well. You know, them Lotus people could really learn from the Americans when it comes to making a handling car. No, they kind of go, yeah, Americans, yeah, big loud things. Big loud things, very fast down the straight. Doesn't turn good. Don't like corners. Just, you know, point it in a straight line down a straight road. Just give it the beans and, you know, the world just sort of disappears around you. But give it a corner, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do about these. I do these things over here in America. Them turns, I can turn left, I can't turn right, let me tell you that right now. Because I only do NASCAR tracks. Put me on them Daytona, them Talladega. I can do that so good. You ain't seen nothing. Yeah, you like them drag races. Like them, I was real disappointed when I found out them RuPaul drag race. Ain't no Top Fuel drag racer in there. Yeah, all just some dudes dressing up as women. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But it ain't no funny car. I can tell you that much. Also, monster trucks. Well, I remember, because we had a dodgy satellite box when I was a kid. It had a German sports channel called DSF, which showed Monster Jam. What's the coolest shit ever? I'll rephrase that. That was the coolest shit until the early 2000s when a Danish TV channel picked up Robot Wars, which is the best thing ever made. I don't think television's ever going to top Robot Wars. It's just not possible. Not the first series that had Jeremy Clarkson in it, or presenting it. That wasn't very good. But the Craig Charles years, oh, so good. They're on YouTube, by the way. Definitely worth watching. Because it's basically, some of them are like families. We're like, oh yeah, we build a robot. I'm like an electrical engineer and I build like a robot with my son. And then, you know, they come up there and then you've got somebody like Chaos 2 who just turns up and are like, haha, I'm going to make everyone cry. Like some of the robots, some of the teams were clearly there just to make every child cry. It's great. Oh, it's very wrong. Oh, it's so wrong. You need to check out Robot Wars. It has a very coked up Craig Charles hosting it. And it's one of those great things. Like they revived it a couple of years ago and it was still pretty good. Still pretty good. But Robot Wars was like a competition where people built robots at home and then they fought each other. They had like a ring and then they put the robots in the ring and then the robots just tried to kill each other. It's as cool as it sounds. It's literally as cool as it sounds. They had house robots. They had Shunt, Sergeant Bash, Matilda, and Sir Killalord. Death Metal. Oh, he was so cool. He had like a circular saw. Matilda was like kind of shit. I think she started out having like a chainsaw on the back. She could... Matilda, yeah, she had that on the back and it wasn't great. It's really good. I could talk so much about Robot Wars. It's great. Yeah, robots fighting each other. It's as cool as it sounds. I think America had something called BattleBots or something like that, which was similar, but it was American, so it lacked the charm, if that makes sense. Like, okay, like we can pause this, and again, I have to remember to use Chrome, otherwise I dox myself, and I don't want to dox myself. That's the thing to remember, isn't it? Because I've got like bookmark tabs and shit, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, let's do rows. And then if I do, I need to minimize this. If I do, is that lying on top? Yeah, that's no. Let's just. Oh god, yeah. So that's it. Let's just hi Joe. Let's just find refill playlist because that's the ones. Oh yes, no. Let's do this. Let's have a look here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just skip forward here. See Jeremy Clarkson when he had hair.
Reporting that warfare has been taken out of man's hands.
But that's not good. But what is good? Let's just bring this up a bit. No, go away, adverts. Boo, I'm not giving money to you. You can't see that. It's against the law. I'm going to be slaughtered by the police. Skip ads. Yes, skip ads. Again, great intro.
The peace has been shattered. Diplomacy failed. The robots are back.
Why did it stop?
All-out war and the battle lines have been drawn. So prime your weapons and evict the faint-hearted as we put the scrap back into metal.
Are you already not going, this is the best
Bill was
television
left lying
ever?
around the garage at the time. Oh, and yeah,
See, he's
they
from
want to
Birmingham.
kill each other.
The best thing you've ever seen.
As always, they'll face each other, they'll face dangerous challenges, and they'll also take on...
Dead Metal holding on to his sinister...
think he's all mouth.
I'm surrounded by some of them now. These guys.
Go-kart, but this tubular steel frame, aluminium and steel-plated armoured V-shaped robot has weapons driven by a motorbike starter. Girls are back with can push its own weight, and the chainsaw has a 16-inch blade.
From Burgess Hill in West Sussex, Pandemonium.
Owner Pete Collier once built a go-kart with Outdoor Rat Bog-eyed Pièce de Resistance is the lightest competitor tonight. Don't take it too lightly though, with its lifting blade made out of a snow shovel. Its chassis is an old microwave oven, and it's driven by windscreen wipers from a Mini.
From Sutton and Surrey, Caliban.
Named after the beast in Shakespeare's Tempest and hoping to whip up a storm, Caliban's built from a bolted Dexian frame powered by two 12-volt batteries. Its spinning dome has slashing and cutting weapons.
From the Thomas Hardy School in Dorchester, Demolition Demon.
When it's called
Roboteers, stand by.
There's Hypnodisc and Waiting to Bloom.
This is
The
good.
Roses, Dave, Derek and Kenneth.
That's the Rose family.
And Robogeddon with the Ryle family, young William, Brenda
fuck off,
and
Ray.
Ginger on the right. And in comes Robogeddon straight from the start against Hypnodisc. Look at that blade.
Let's just turn that down a bit. See?
Hypnodisc, the message there, Robo, get on out of it. In comes
It's good.
Robogeddon again though. Hypnodisc spins and comes in on the attack. Oh goodness me.
See, it's just tearing it up.
Robogeddon crumpled by Hypno. D-I-S-C. Oh, no more letters in that. Never mind. Hypnodisco. It certainly is though, dancing around.
And Jonathan Pierce on comms. So good.
All that work, 100 hours over
amazing television. He's just going to destroy it. He's just going to kill it. It's great. Oh, Jonathan.
Oh, you shouldn't laugh. Look at that, laid bare.
And they're not stopping. They could just stop attacking now. But no, we're just going to continue. See, he's nearly crying. That child is nearly crying.
There's nothing left of it now. Hypnotisc, what a mighty machine this is. It's on fire, I think, as well, Roboken. There's smoke coming out.
See, it's great. It's great. He's just dying. See, this is good TV.
It's a little William. There's a way back into this for us, I don't think so. The wheels buckled now as well. There's no shell.
It's just.
No wheels, no weapons.
This is TV.
Oh, Hypnotisc. This is the most complete destruction I think we've seen in Robot Wars ever.
See, now they cracked hold to the CO2 canister.
Oh, that was splendid.
Yeah, that really was. Oh. Oh, no, didn't mean to do that, because we're going to have Diotcho, right?
Nothing covert.
Oh, no, that's versus Stealth. Diotcho's really good.
Great match here. Two very
See that Sergeant Bash down there at the bottom.
It's just about the best we've
That's...
seen so far, I think, in this series of Robot Wars with that greatly
Oh, they got a circular saw on the back there and a flipper. Oh, that's good. Flippers were really popular.
enough
Really
to
good
avoid
stuff.
only. Can they get in with the
Got
flipper?
Hypnodisc.
They realise that underneath Hypnodisc,
Oh, they don't have a Shremek. That was before Hypnodisc had a Shremek.
great disc at the front.
This is just... This is great. Oh.
Just flipping it around and look at the back blade of Stealth. Immediately knocked to one side and
See, it's a
buckled.
pretty simple robot, Hypnodisc.
Thinking twice about attacking Hypnodisc.
Oh.
Jumped up in the air, Hypnodisc with a blade of Stealth completely flying off.
What was that?
Off goes the
Oh, look at that. The blade just comes off the back.
bits and pieces flying around.
Yeah, then Matilda tries to get in.
Fucking Bronco. Hypnodisc back and together in one piece, unlike Stealth. That's another piece that's thrown off the
This is just the best television ever made.
all over the arena floor. Look at the damage there to Stealth again from Hypnodisc. This is wonderful stuff.
Like, they could only really have topped the commentary if they had Murray Walker doing it.
Oh, Stealth. There's hardly anything left now. Down to bare bones. Groggy. Reeling in this.
Oh, he's just churning up the insides now.
The machinations in the minds of the Hypnodisc Stealth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, just look at that. Look at the despair in the eyes there. Look at that. Oh, they're shattered. They're as shattered as a robot.
Look at that. Wonderful.
Just methodical destruction.
In Robot Wars.
Fantastic.
Look at this.
Just make them cry. Make them cry, Hypnodisc. Yes. Go on. They're going to cry. They're going to cry. They're going to cry. Oh, it's brutal. Oh, it's just dead. Oh, we need Hypnodisc. Oh, go away, you fucking fucks with your adverts and balls. Oh, fucking Swedish advert now. Why can't I mute it up here? It's not Firefox. Oh. No, we've seen that.
It only takes
No, that's not it. We need to go up.
what a brave effort this is from Splinter.
No.
Robot Wars, and it's even better.
Oh, Wheelie Big Cheese, yes.
From Wheelie Big Cheese. Clamp
There they've got the Shremek on it. It's great.
is counting down. Ming 3 Hypnodisc.
What? There's no Diotcho in here? Oh, it's not sad. It's fantastic. Oh, Hypnodisc versus Chaos 2. Oh, yes, that's a good one. That would have been a battle for the ages. Hypnodisc. I think that's how you spell that. Robogeddon, Big Brother, Razorblade. No, Hypnodisc versus... Am I thinking of... Diotcho, yeah, okay, so here we are. Not that. Diotcho. We want Diotcho Robot Wars. See, these people here made a mistake with Diotcho, right? Hey, that's me. Right. Oh, that was over very quick. Oh, that's what she said. Oi, oi. There was. I mean, they rebooted Robot Wars, and it became pretty special. Because the robots, they got. Oh boy, they got big. Like, see, they not terahertz. No. Supernova. Yes, Carbide. Yes, that was amazing because they rebooted it a few years ago. See, this is good. Yes. See, this is some proper stuff. See, he's got a spinner there in the middle. I'll build in at the front rather than on top. So he's trying to get that front strike in. It's spinner versus spinner. Oh, I think ISI spinner stop. Oh! Oh, he's right over there. He's been chased by Shunt. That was the judges. There were judges.
4, 3, 2.
Yeah, see, that was... I mean, that wasn't really very good, was it? Oh, yeah, Apollo, he was fantastic. They had these group battles where, like, 3 robots started off fighting each other. And then they progressed in. It was really good. Apollo is the one that looks like Apollo, basically. Oh. They could press that and then it opened like a pit. And then you could push them in there a bit, you know, like a boxer going down. He's right over there by... Ooh, is that Death Metal? Very nearly. He's going to flip it. Oh, right over onto Death Metals. Oh, yes. Just look at that. Flipped it over. Right onto Death Metal. Oh, he's nearly going to fly out of the arena. Death Metal's right on it. That looks so mean, that robot right there, because it's got the fangs. Look, is this not the best television you've ever seen? Why isn't every TV this? Ooh. Oh, he's going for Sir Killalot. Oh, you don't want to be doing that, mate. Oh, he's gonna. Oh. He's trying, I think, to flip him out of the arena. Very nearly. Time is out. So good. Carbide against... Oh, that's against the same robot. That was cluster robots, which they allowed. Oh, Carbide. See, yeah, problem right there is there's very little ground clearance. So if he gets, like, one of those robots under him on one side, he can pretty much hold the wheels up. Which isn't good. But yeah, see, this is the best television you've ever seen. I can guarantee it's worth watching. I think most of, certainly the old stuff, were on YouTube. Oh, Behemoth, yeah, he was back.
There's the power of the scoop of Behemoth. I like the additions they've made, but I like the tenacity of...
Is there, yep, group battles there. Carbide. Oh, yeah, that was a good, yeah. Basically, yeah, watch Robot Wars because it's real good. Also, Demolition Derby. Did you ever watch the PS1 game, Destruction Derby? Oh, this is WWE. Yeah, there was a PS1 game called Destruction Derby Raw, which very much isn't wrestling, but it's very good nonetheless. Also, we've gone on a journey of potatoes. So yeah, we were doing this before. Uh-oh, this may be critical here. Oh no, I think we got it out. Where am I? How did I get over here? Come on now. Come on now, forwards. Where am I stuck? Yeah, this isn't splendid, this position that I've found myself in, because I got distracted by Robot Wars. Oh yeah, we're also sinking in a bit. So what we need to do is detach you. Oh yeah, see, this is struggling just pulling itself out now. I did set up some sort of... Come on now, I'm stuck. Yeah, we're stuck here. This is very much a snow runner type situation, innit? Kind of beached here. Well, let's just... Oh yeah, this was the one that fell over a bit. Yeah, that is true. Where's my big tractor? This may be my big tractor. It is pretty big. We don't need to bring the slurry tank with us. Please lower the implement. No, fuck off, you wanker. We don't need to do that. It's me Samsung PG 220. Carries a lot of shit. This is a big tractor. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Pathetic horn, really. Hello, I'm a tractor. I'm a big cunt. Fuck y'all. That's the wrong button. Whoops. It has some weird flashy lights on this because it's a mod, but it's really nice. Big John Deere, big green tractor. What more do you want? It's big, it's green. Loud green too. And I've got 2 screens plus the top ones as well. It's good at being a tractor. That's all I can say. Great tractor. It does all my tractoring needs. How did that move over there? I think my tractor's possessed. I think my class is haunted. Which is not ideal. But we'll just have to make do. Yeah, we want to get into this. Start you engine up. You're sort of blocking where I need to be going, aren't you? Oh, not. Alright. Fair dues. So let's get you unstuck. Oh, see. Yeah, see, this is the difference between narrow tyres and proper tyres, is that this just is like, yeah, what, mate? What problem? It's like slapstick humour where one character cannot pick up something and then another character walks over and picks it up immediately with no trouble because they pick up like some sort of styrofoam model of it. So let's see if we can't ram the class right out of this mess. And by this mess I mean this crop that I've sown. Big hit. It's like Robot Wars but with tractors. Tractor Wars. Sounds like a TLC show, doesn't it? Oh, probably more like a Discovery Channel show. Coming this fall. John Deere versus Case. 2 agricultural behemoths go head to head in Tractor Wars. It's just not how you tractor, is it? Actually, I wonder how the sales of Farming Simulator was affected by Clarkson's Farm. Because I'm sure quite a lot of people would have been like, oh yes, I can do this in a video game. I think we're just going to have to try and nudge it now. Oh yeah, look at this, so much easier. Don't know what all the fuss is about. Don't know what all that bloody fuss is about. I can just ram it with me big tractor. With its sad horn. But again, clearly, this tractor ain't compensating for nothing. What the... Nailed it. Nailed it. Also, yeah, lots of lights. Pressed the wrong button, so we're just going to leave the tractor there. That's quite okay. It is a bit of a faff to just jump between all of that, but hey-ho. Don't get stuck, don't get stuck, don't get stuck. You do not have my permission to get stuck. Pause, get out, and attach. Boom, boom. Also, if you're looking for an audiobook to listen to, I can recommend Richard Herring's Would You Rather. Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing as an audiobook. I'm sure it's great as an actual book, but the audiobook is just another level on top. Because he's got another comedian to answer the questions with him, so it's not just the question, but it's also an answer. It's more of a podcast than a book, really. But it's really good. I think one of the questions in it is, would you rather be lactose intolerant or the president of the Central African Republic? I've not gone anywhere, mate. Not gone anywhere. I've been here the whole time. I've been talking to myself. Then. Oh dear, that laughing fit really. Again, don't be dissuaded by Robot Wars by the pathetic robot we saw at first, because that was like the early doors. There were some absolute shit ones then, because it wasn't really a thing. There were some people who had done stuff like that, like around, like apparently it was like a thing in the UK. Like they toured around and did it in like, I imagine like community halls and stuff or something like that. They had like robot fights. Oh, didn't know that. Oh well. Shit happens. It's been green on my end, which is what I'm basing it off of. Is it? Perhaps, did I by any chance? Let me see. I can see there was a dip, but stream settings. Have I had anything? What's a create highlight video? I can add a stream. I'm gonna click something that says at stream marker. I'm gonna. What does that do? Appears in the video editor after. Let me see here. Have I had any information? Because it doesn't say anything on like the stream thing that I've got going. On YouTube, it's taking an absolute bloody age. I'm on desktop capture, ain't I? So let's just do. Nope, that's the wrong thing. That's that one. That's interesting. I've not had any notification of a stream being suspended. Isn't that interesting? It doesn't tell me if it happens. Apparently it tells you. It doesn't tell me. Well, you know what? We're going to stick it to the fucking man and end it here, seeing as it's also like 10 PM and yeah, it's gone on for a bit, hasn't it? So yep, this has been a farming stream. Let's just forget measure. Pause, let it save. Just so that's all cleared up here. Boom, boom, boom. We can find the right one here. We can quit. Now that it's saved. And we will come back another time, but don't know when, because I don't plan